You mean we missed all that beautiful commentary?
We did.
My roll 20 is also stupid laggy. Are you using Chrome,
I'm
Jordan?
using Firefox.
Oh, see, it's not the browser. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is
I'm
either.
using Firefox as well, and mine's working fairly well.
I don't think my laptop likes being connected to the monitor I have, because the second I connect it to the monitor, everything starts to run a bit pants.
See, I don't even have that excuse. It just doesn't. It's just real laggy for me for some reason.
Yep.
I might need to go through and clean out like my cookies. That could very well be the issue.
Delete cookies.
Let's at least hope they're chocolate chip and not oatmeal raisin.
You be quiet, you.
No, but
I love an oatmeal raisin cookie.
Yeah, me too.
Why would
Okay, I will enjoy an oatmeal raisin cookie as long as I know that's what it is beforehand. If I bite into that motherfucker thinking it's chocolate chip, I will stab somebody. I get real stabby.
Oatmeal raisin's like my favorite, and I only like chocolate chip if I have a cup of milk with it.
I love snickerdoodles. They're really light and fluffy and
Okay, we're not talking about
Sorry.
other cookies. We're talking about standard cookies. Samoas are by far the greatest thing known to man. So
that's true.
I hate coconut, but I will devour an entire pack of Samoas.
That's so backwards and wrong, Zach. Like that's
is.
the reason why they're so good is because of the coconut.
But I normally hate coconut. Like anything with coconut in it makes me gag, but those I will eat the entire package and not flinch.
Yeah. All right. Well, enough derailing the campaign. When we last left our heroes, you guys had begun to make the journey from Broken Heights to the island of Undrok to make the pilgrimage to the village of Erfenplock. A letter was sent to Blood
Battery
from
60%.
his mother, who is one of the priestesses. A little bit happened on the seas, not a bunch of crazy stuff. You decided not to stop at Darkfall. Nobody died on this trip so far. Oh wait. Okay,
You're
well nobody died. Nobody died. But a Dragonborn went missing.
He was kidnapped by fairies.
He was kidnapped by Fae, and then Jack and Blood are now.
No, I was sleeping.
Jack and just Jack, I think.
I think it was just Jack.
Jack, Jack and the Dragonborn, right?
Yeah, but then
they
the
gave
Dragonborn
them their
got
names
taken.
But Trent was like, nobody.
just
was
a
like,
translator.
I'm nobody important, and then the Dragonborn was being a dick because that's what I'm good at doing, and
and he got charmed and followed the Fey creature into the Fey realm. So
give Trent his due. He did try and stop it.
You guys will probably find him later when you eventually, if you eventually go to the Fey realm. If not, he's not going to be having a bad life, but not the life he was expecting. And yeah, you guys have made the journey and basically arrived at the island of Undrok, and Blood explained to everyone that while it is very tropical and warm down here on the beach, the village is very high up in the mountain, and it will be very cold by the time you get there. So you have to be ready for snowy and cold weather. And apparently, Zach's bard hated that idea.
He likes the warm weather where he can wear little clothing.
So obviously, Blood is a big guy and he's typically barefoot. And since he grew up in this area, I'm assuming that he is adjusted and doesn't need to put on layers of clothing. Or do I need to find some shoes?
You're gonna need to find some shoes. It's not. It's he. I mean, he's smart enough to know it's not a good idea to go tromping. It doesn't matter how well adjusted you are to the cold. It's not a good idea to go tromping around barefoot in the cold snow for
Okay.
extended periods of time.
Then I'm gonna go to the storage and see if I can dig up some leather and cloth and just kind of and some rope and just makeshift some boots.
Okay.
Makeshift moccasins.
Yeah.
You want to do this?
I do. I want to try.
Okay. Make an investigation check of the hold since you aren't, the quartermaster, so you don't know where everything is. 12. Yeah, it takes you a little while, but you find some leather that you think will work all right. There's plenty of rope. And yeah, and you said leather, rope, and what?
Some cloth, maybe like canvas or something to add a layer of warmth.
Sure. I mean, you'd have to cut up a sail, but yeah, you found some canvas.
Or hey, do we have any spare hammocks? I could. We have a lot of people
Yeah,
die,
yeah,
so I'll just cut up
yes.
a hammock then. Tear it up. I'm just imagining him tearing
Okay.
it in pieces.
Go ahead and make a general dexterity check on how well you put together your makeshift booties. You think they might get you there?
I'm very proud of
I
them.
mean, Blood is very proud of them. The rest of you are like, those are gonna fall apart in like a day.
Who does this? New shoes.
Yeah, I made them, Captain.
Maybe we should do some shopping while we're in port. Find you something a bit more rugged.
Oh, I think they're plenty rugged enough, sir.
You're not at a port.
So there's like no stores and stuff. It's just
No, so when you approach this island, all you can see along the entire beach is beached longships.
So we're just gonna have to wait.
So like the orcs will literally just like row up to it. They'll get out, pull their ship up on board. They don't. There's no guards or anything. This is their holy place. If you do bad things here, they will hate you forever. So the orcs are they even tribes that hate each other will not do anything to each other on this island because it is their holy land.
so it would make sense to have like stores and stuff, except for maybe souvenir shops, because
There might be there's shops at the village up in the mountain, not here on the coast.
We just got to
That
make
makes
it
sense.
up there.
Yeah.
Gonna make getting all those resources off the ship difficult. Problems for later. I guess I'll work on putting together an away team. And drop anchor just offshore.
Okay. Yeah. The crew drops the anchor and they're kind of just waiting around, waiting for your decision because Blood went and made shoes for an hour.
I figured Blue had done it on the way to the island. Or as I'm trying to track down Tolvin Trenton, and where is Blue?
we got kind of busy, man.
It's one of those things where Blood might have thought about it, but he probably didn't because he's like, and then he gets there and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's cold up there."
I should probably protect my feet.
At least he knows enough. He needs to protect his feet.
And coats and mittens and earmuffs for the rest of the people that are going.
Mm, oh, I assume it's easy enough to track down everyone but Blood.
Yeah. I mean, Trent was probably like asleep.
Oh, well, Trenton, you're coming with us. Um,
I suppose it's at this point I come up with my shoes ready to go.
I make my offhanded comment about we should go shopping for shoes for you.
It'll be
Some
fine,
shits.
Captain.
I certainly hope so. I also want to get put together a manifest of what we have to sell, which I assume would be easy enough.
Yeah. Whoever's got it written down.
Give me a second to find it.
Okay, I don't need it right this second. I just don't want to like leave the ship and not have this information.
Maybe we should ask Emiga. She is the quartermaster.
Emiga, you mind tagging along? Use your expertise in making this trade happen.
Hi, Captain. I'm ready to go.
Does everyone have everything? When we get to the island, I don't want to hear anybody complaining about how cold it is.
He's like, "Oh, I'm good, Captain. I'm resistant to cold."
That sounds handy.
I'm okay with the cold too.
Yeah, she inherited her parents' resistance to cold and fire.
Ooh. Cold and fire?
I mean, you
Yep.
mix white and red together, you get pink.
Yep. That's it. You're right, Zach. Oh, wow.
I know basic colors.
Did
No.
you just figure that out?
You get
I
light
had,
red.
I had to Google it.
Tomorrow
They
we'll
ha-
learn
They have a
shapes.
word for lightish red. It's pink.
It's more of a salmon.
Cool. I
look.
guess we have everyone ready to go. Let's lower the rowboat that we definitely have some of.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have more than
Blue-
one now.
Yay! Now we can evacuate the ship.
That's
Let's hope it
that's getting
doesn't-
easier day by day because there's fewer and fewer crew.
This is true.
We can evacuate the ship. You can evacuate the more important people. All the regular crew are probably just gonna die. You definitely don't have enough rowboats for 200 plus people.
Lou, do you mind doing the honors of rowing the boat in?
I got it, Captain.
Yeah, I mean you make landfall. Yes, you're not very far off the beach.
Dolphin pulls out his pan flute and starts playing the Pirates of the Caribbean song on it.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
So I'm going to be pretty excited because it's been a very long. I haven't seen my mother since I joined Grimm's crew, which was like 8-9 years ago. So I'm going to be like blued paces ahead of people because I'm just like power walking up.
Get off the boat immediately. Why is it so cold?
Oh, it's,
It's
not
not
cold
no,
till we get up to the
yeah, it's
mountain.
not cold. It's not cold on the
It's
beach.
not cold at the shore. Oh,
It's once you start getting up the mountain.
Okay.
Because it's very tropical here. There's palm trees and it's a beach. It's a normal beach, but the village is up in the mountains.
Ah. Well, I guess we should head to the village.
It is very obvious of which way to go because there have been thousands of orcs following the same path.
Is there anybody down here at the beach, or is it just deserted?
Make a perception check.
Every time I scroll, it goes too far, and then I scroll back up and it goes too high.
No, I mean you look around and you're like, I don't see nobody.
Okay.
No, it seems like there's no one here on the beach. But there's roughly 300 longships or so that you can see.
Typically, how many crew to a longship?
50 or so. There's 300 that you can see that are here at this part of the beach. From as far as your eyes can see that way to as far as your eyes can see that way.
But there are
There
more
could
we
be
cannot
be
see.
many more ships that have parked elsewhere.
What he's saying, Zach, is don't start any trouble.
Hey, I might be able to talk myself out of it now. But no, this character's smart enough not to start trouble here.
Zach, I might be smart enough to.
Uh,
I think depending on what you do, the DC might be impossible, Zachary. So like and talk.
Accidentally sleep with the wrong person, get some people pissed off at us.
I mean, sleeping with somebody's not necessarily bad, but
Walking up to a werebear.
picking a fight with a werebear in an alley.
To be fair, I didn't put 2 and 2 on the whole cursed thing together till after he transformed, and then I was like, "Oh, I fucked up."
Oh no!
My plan was calculated. Too bad I'm terrible at math.
Okay. You guys follow the well-beaten path up the mountain?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you begin the journey up the mountainside. Yeah. Who's keeping watch throughout this journey?
I'm pretty
And
good at
I need a
keeping
marching
watch.
order.
I'll keep an eye out. Trenton will.
Well, I'm in the front because I know the way. Even though the way's pretty obvious, I'm still like, ha, this is my house. I know the way.
I'll follow Blood.
I'll follow
Imoga, do you
Jack.
mind taking up the rear?
She's like, yeah, I can do that. Okay,
Dolvin will be somewhere in the middle.
So whoever's keeping an eye out, go ahead and roll a perception check. 13.
Don't know why.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, walking up the mountainside, there is plenty of wildlife. It's very, like I said, it's tropical down here, so you can hear like monkeys, tropical birds, stuff you would normally find in like say a jungle. But yeah, you don't necessarily see. You see, I mean, obviously, you see the evidence of thousands of beings have passed through this way. But nothing particularly out of the ordinary. But a full day's travel later, night has begun to approach. It's the temperature has dipped about 20 degrees from where you started. So down on the beach, it was probably roughly around 80, very nice and tropical. Now it's down to 60. So it might get pretty cold this evening.
Oh boy. Well, should we set
Uh,
up camp?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Same.
I would like to go gather wood to make a fire.
Okay. I mean, you got a giant axe. It's fairly easy. There's plenty of trees. The trees have started like they're not palm trees anymore. They've begun to transition into like fir trees up here. So yeah, you collect firewood. None of the area yet, but it is starting to get colder, and it hasn't rained in a couple days here.
So what I'm gonna do is when I chop down the tree, I'm gonna stack. We obviously don't need a full fir tree's worth of wood, so I'm gonna stack the extras in a pile near the road for the next person who might need it.
Oh, that's so thoughtful.
We're such thoughtful pirates.
Not well. These are Blood's people, and he knows that not all of them can do what he does, so he helps.
And this place is kind of important, so I guess it pays to be respectful.
Okay, so you build a campfire. Did, did anybody bring a tent?
Who brings tents?
Blood doesn't even have a backpack. I should have probably purchased one last time we were in port somewhere. I've got no supplies.
No bedroll, no. I mean, you see Imiga dig into her pack, and she pulls out like some dried jerky and some old like stale bread, just some simple rations, and it's just like she's just kind of chewing on it. You guys didn't really.
A bedroll. We just never purchased a tent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a bedroll and rations.
So you've got that. Snuggle
It's
up near the fire, I guess.
it's so hard to play Blood because he is not a thinker and doesn't think ahead for stuff like this.
I mean, Tolvin, you're a bard, right? You got
I have Song of Rest. That's about all I've got.
you don't have the
Uh,
magic bubble.
I do not have Liamon's tiny hut.
We need a magic bubble. Or we need to buy a tent when we get to the village.
Okay. Yeah, you guys lie down for the night. Who would like to keep watch?
I could take first watch.
Okay. Yeah, you're just like sitting there, and you realize once the sun goes down, it drops about 30 degrees,
It's
And-
very cold.
and it's bone-chillingly cold. You like bundle up in your bedroll while you're on watch, and go ahead and make a perception check.
Yeah, do one of those. Perception. Go. See everything.
20. I mean, throughout the night, throughout your first watch, nothing seems to be out of the ordinary. You're just kind of like listening to the sounds, which have changed from like jungle sounding creatures of monkeys and parrots and tropical birds and stuff to more woodland creatures, owls hooting, maybe the chittering of a squirrel up in a tree. Who would you like to wake up for watch numero dos?
Trenton.
Okay. Trent, you because you're a sea elf, you're or a Triton.
Yeah.
You have cold resistance, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Boink.
Anyway, he wakes you up for your watch 27. I mean, you see the nighttime. Do you have dark vision?
I do.
Okay. Jack does not, so technically he should have made his as
At disadvantage.
at disadvantage, but that's okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, and dark vision only goes out 60 feet, so
Yeah.
after that it's pure darkness. So, yeah, you're pretty perceptive. You're just kind of sitting there by the fire. You feel okay. I mean, you have cold resistance, but you can feel the chill.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh man, whew, it's cold, but I'm okay. Plus you're crazy. You probably wouldn't even like realize that you were cold. And you're sitting there, and suddenly it gets very quiet. Like all the animals and night sounds that you were hearing, they're not there anymore. It's eerily quiet.
So is everybody just around me whilst I'm sat up watching?
I think everybody's as close to the fire as they can get.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give it another minute. Do I notice anything? Still just silent.
It's silent. Like, not even like the rustle of the trees.
I will try and talk to Jack.
Okay.
Does sound come out of my mouth when I?
Oh yeah. No,
Okay.
it's not.
It's
It's
not
not
like
like a silence.
A silence.
spell.
Right.
Yeah.
I will nudge awake Jack and say, Captain,
Just yeah.
it's quiet. Too quiet.
I'll listen for a second.
Okay, make a perception check.
Do.
19. I mean, you notice like the throughout your watch, you could hear the hooting of owls and the chittering of critters, and but now, like, not even like a breeze through the tree can you hear.
Go. You're right. This is concerning. Go wake up Tolvin. I'll get Blued.
Gonna go and shake Tolvin awake.
Get Blued.
Okay.
And try not to die in the process.
And I'll wake up Imiga as well.
Okay. She's like, yeah.
I'm sorry to wake you, but Captain told me to. It's we may have a problem.
Oh, okay.
Tolvin will cast dancing lights to try and light up the area a little bit better.
Okay.
Blue's gonna be like, "Oh, what's going on?"
Just the lights float out and around. I mean, you still have the campfire burning, so
Yeah, he'll send it out just a little bit further than what the campfire gets us.
okay. Yeah. I mean, out into the trees beyond you.
Do we see anything in the newly created light?
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
Can I also make a check?
Sure.
3.
22 or 22.
You see
Love it.
trees.
And still no sound. There's still no noise.
Still no sound.
Sorry to wake everyone. It's just eerily quiet right now.
Does Blood have any idea what could be out there?
Make an intelligence check.
Can we feel the wind? Is there like a wind blowing that we should be hearing the rustle of leaves?
Not necessarily. It's very still right now. Blood, you're like, it's nothing.
And I'll just roll over and try to go back to sleep.
There.
What do we do, Captain?
Well, you and I might do a little surveying of the perimeter of our camp. We'll try and stay in sight, in line of sight of everyone. Unless Imaga and Tolvin, you guys are awake enough to walk around with us.
She's like, yeah, I could. So it's just, we're just scared that it's quiet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not used to the quiet. There's normally so many voices in my head.
I'm mostly worried about predators being nearby.
She's like, but wouldn't we hear them?
Well, the issue isn't that we don't hear them, it's that we don't hear anything. There's no birds, there's no owls, there's no nightlife.
Right. So if there were predators, wouldn't we just still hear stuff? I'm confused. I guess I don't know.
I don't know either. But I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Okay.
We're also
Just,
used to life on a ship that there's always sounds happening.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just the sounds of the waves and the ship creaking while you're sailing. It's just never quiet. Yeah, I mean, so if you're going to spread out from the camp, make an investigation check. Are you like Jack? Are you lighting up a torch?
Yeah, I'll light up a torch.
I'll also light up a torch.
Okay.
I'm gonna be lazy and just use dancing lights.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so how far out do you spread from the camp?
Probably just a few steps past the edge of the campfire light.
Okay. Go ahead and make.
And then walk a circle around that area.
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Me as well.
Investigation, go.
Yeah, I think there were like supposed to be 2 groups of people.
Oh.
Oh no.
You're like looking around. You definitely don't see any of the woodland critters you've been hearing, so they're not around.
And this definitely
But-
doesn't feel natural.
It does. I mean, as a druid, it feels wrong.
Okay.
There's almost always
Noises.
nature. Yeah, noises and just nature. But no, you neither of you see anything.
Well, just be a bit of paranoia on my behalf. As in, we all meet back up towards
Yeah.
the campfire.
Yep. And because like I didn't see anything.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, sorry to have raised the alarm and interrupted your sleep. I guess we should all hit the hay again. Triton, let me know at least if something changes.
Aye, Captain.
Go back to sleep.
The rest of your watch passes, Trent, without the noises don't come back, but nothing seems to happen throughout the rest of your watch. So you can wake up Tolvin or Blood for their watch.
I will wake up Tolvin.
Okay.
Because I'm scared of Blood.
Oh, don't worry. Tolvin doesn't plan on waking up Blue himself.
Tolvin, it's your turn for watch.
Oh, goodies.
There's still
He'll
no
wake up and
there's still no noises.
oh, nothing like sitting out in the dark and the dead silent. This will be fun.
Maybe you could play a little music, huh?
Yeah, he'll pull out his pan flute and play a quiet-ish song.
Okay. Make a performance check.
Rolls a 1, wakes everyone up.
Here's where you guys find out I'm not actually proficient in performance.
That'd be depressing as a bard.
It was a joke.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's just you're using a pan flute, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's just it's a very nice, sweet, quiet melody drifting through the trees. Make a perception check. I want to see that -2 to perception. Oh, you still have a 5.
I get a 5.
Yeah, I mean, you're just kind of like watchy. What are you, a human?
Half elf.
Half elf. So you have dark vision. Yeah.
Yeah.
Up to 60 feet, which isn't as far as you think it is.
You.
Yeah, you're just kind of like keeping an eye out, playing your music. You don't see anything. And your watch comes to an end.
Towards like about the last 10-ish minutes of my rest, I'm gonna ritual cast Unseen Servant, and then when my rest comes to an end, I'm gonna use the Unseen Servant to wake up Blood.
Okay.
Because if he kills that thing, I don't give a shit.
We just need like a portable air horn to wake Blood up.
that might wake everybody up, unfortunately.
Just poke him with a stick from like 10 feet away.
Oh, there you go.
We need a 10-foot pole.
Just to avoid being murdered by Blood.
I mean, he wouldn't be able to murder any of you.
Yeah, but being smacked around by Blood doesn't sound pleasant, and it's so much easier to just take 10 minutes to ritual cast Unseen Servant
Yeah.
and have that thing sit there and poke Blood in the face with a stick until he wakes up.
Well, you can't. Yeah, never mind. That's fine.
So how long are the night shifts? Are they like two hours a piece or?
Yeah, roughly 2 hours.
Okay. So I'll be the last one for the night.
Yep. Go ahead and Tolvin's unseen servant pokes you, and you're like, "Who are you?"
What does your unseen servant look like? I mean, is it just
It's unseen.
It's
Yeah,
unseen.
Oh, oh no. Okay,
So there be ghosts now.
so there's ghosts that just woke me up, and we're in the middle of a spooky forest,
It's silent.
and it's dead quiet. So, okay, wait. I'm gonna. Okay, so he's poking me. Poke, poke, poke. I do kind of the like SWAT thing, like, go
Like there's like
away."
a bug bothering you.
And then it pokes a little bit harder, and so I sit up, and I don't see anything, and I go, "Whoa!
Okay.
Captain, it's a ghost! It's a ghost! We're haunted! It's a ghost!"
Yeah, Blood starts freaking the out, which immediately wakes everyone up.
Jump up, swords out, ready. What?
It's a ghost!
It's a ghost!
What?
Oh, after
Tolvin
the
is
Onis.
trying not to laugh.
And I'm just like swinging my arms wildly, like I'm gonna somehow catch the ghost with my hands or something.
Well, make an attack roll with disadvantage, because you might hit the unseen servant and just make it go poof.
Like an unarmed attack?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Try that again.
23 definitely hits. Your unseen servant explodes. You feel your arm come into contact with something around you, and then you're like, "Oh, it's right there!" And then you like try to grab it, but now there's nothing there. It's like,
Did you get it, Blue?
Like, I think I got him, Captain. I think I got him.
Okay. Oh. Me
Lude, the
rightfully
man's
terrified.
strong enough to kill a ghost in a single blow. Good job, my boy.
Did the
Oh, thanks,
Tolvin.
Tolvin.
did the scream from Blood draw anything closer?
make a perception check. 22. You're like keeping an eye out in the woods. I mean, you're a little bit groggy because you just woke
Yeah.
up. But you're like, Blood's freaking out. Jack woke up, and the guy's just kind of like sitting there, like hand on her chin, just like these guys. Like she's in her bedroll still, and she's like, yeah, there's ghosts. You don't see anything.
Okay. Trenton is very guarded, being that it's still silent. Blood screamed, like nothing seems to be there. So I'm on guard.
Oh, Blue's gonna go. Oh, now that I'm up, do you need me to take watch?
Yes, it would be your turn.
Tolvin,
got
I
it.
need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yay!
11, you definitely fail. Hey, so while you guys are like, Blue's freaking out, everybody's awake, and they're like, Jesus Christ, what's going on? A vine comes whipping out of the trees, wraps around Tolvin, and he goes flying into the trees.
Son of a bitch!
Tolvin?
Did anybody else see that?
Yeah, I was talking to him, and then he ran away into the trees.
I don't think he ran, but maybe we should follow.
I'm gonna grab my axe.
Okay.
Ready in action.
Okay.
You first, Captain.
All right, here we go. I guess torch in one hand, sword in the other. I will follow the sounds of the screaming and glance over my shoulder to make sure everybody else is following.
Tolvin, are you screaming?
I mean, he just got yanked backwards by something. Yeah, he's kind of freaking out.
Okay. You begin to follow the screams.
And then I get grabbed by a vine.
No?
Oh.
But eventually, the screams just kind of stop.
If I'm able to, can I cast Dancing Lights?
Let's see. You are
Oops, I did not mean to click on that. I wanted to read it myself.
What is the
Visual, semantic, and material are the.
so your
it takes
arms
all
are
of them.
like pinned, so you can't make the
Proper hand signs to cast it.
yeah. You're
What a
currently
whore.
like restrained by the vine, and now it's actually like wrapped you up and it's over your mouth, which is why the screaming is. I mean, you're screaming, but you're screaming into a vine that has now wrapped itself around you completely. And you're moving through the forest at a pretty good clip.
Son of a bitch.
So the screaming has stopped, but you're like you know the direction it was coming from.
Keep heading that way. Is there any obvious signs of something passing through, like broken branches and disturbed underbrush?
Make an investigation check.
Investigation. Go. No fucking clue.
I mean,
no.
there's plenty of like broken branches and stuff, but there's a lot of people that pass through these areas.
And this is how I get us lost. I'm gonna do my best.
I mean, you find a path that looks like it's a bunch of branches have been broken through it. Make a survival check to try to follow the. Okay, you follow it fairly well. And you're like following it, and you're following it, and you're following it, and you're following it, and you're following it. Stop for a second.
Quentin, does this look like the right way?
Does it look like the way he went?
The way who went? Tolvin?
Yeah.
I assume you're better at tracking than I am.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, looks. You followed Jack because he knew where he was going.
That was your first mistake.
I think so, Captain.
Okay. So keep pressing on.
Okay, you keep following this broken path until finally you're like where it kind of just like comes to an end.
What do you mean, like it seems to be there's no more broken?
Yeah. Like there's no more like obvious broken branches and as if something had come this way.
I'd like to do a thorough investigation in the area.
Okay.
I will assist.
Get 18. You're just looking around and you see some bits of clothing that have maybe like caught on something, but it doesn't look like what Tolvin was wearing.
Would I have any idea of what it is that actually grabbed him?
Make a nature check. 13. No idea.
Does Blood have any idea what could be happening right now? Is this something he would be familiar with in this area?
You already tried that like
Oh, I
an
did?
hour ago.
Okay.
It'd be the same check. You already decided it was nothing and went back to bed.
I went back to sleep.
I guess we try and head back and see if we can find another path.
Slam cut to Tolvin. Tolvin, you are
Huzzah.
now hanging upside down from a tree with this vine wrapped around you, completely pinned down. By your ankles, the vine is over the tree, and you're like, it's covering your mouth, and you're looking towards the ground, and you see these strange creatures. There's a couple of them just kind of like coming out. They're just like, and they almost look like they're just made out of trees. Like they're like little trees. They're just like looking at you with glowing yellow eyes out from underneath like a dark. They just look like they're made out of wood. And they're just kind of looking at you.
My mouth is still currently covered, right?
Yep.
Can I attempt to at least get my mouth free so I can try and talk to these little turds?
Yeah, you can try to like. Are you like just like wiggling because like your arms are pinned down? You're literally just wrapped in a vine.
Yeah, I mean, he'll try and wiggle, try and get the damn thing away from his mouth so he can try and talk.
Okay. They're kind of just like looking at you. The vine like lowers you down, and a couple of them come over and just kind of poke you, prod you a little bit. They hear you like mumbling into the vine, so like one of them like waves its hand, and the vine like gets away from your mouth.
He'll just kind of look at him and go, hi there, you wouldn't happen to speak common, would you? That would make this so much easier.
And they cock their heads at you, and they start chittering to each other in a. Do you understand Sylvan?
No.
Okay, in a language you don't understand.
He's just gonna sit there and think, right, this is going to be a pain in the ass. He'll try his next language, which is Elvish. Might he speak Elvish by any means?
They
It's
just
going to
kind
be
of
a
keep
long
cocking their
night.
heads at you and like looking at you like weird, chittering to each other in a language again you don't understand.
Well, me and these little shits are about to have a one-sided conversation. Yay for being a College of Eloquence bard. I'm going to use universal speech.
Okay. I
Oh, that's fancy. Shit.
okay.
That's why this is going to be a one-sided conversation. I can talk to them, but I'll have no idea what the hell they're saying.
Yeah, it does not go both ways.
Nope, and I do not have comprehend languages.
Of course you don't. Why would any of you have any sort of support spells?
Oops, I did not mean to send that text.
I'm not a caster.
I have quite a few support spells, just not that one.
Okay.
But yes, I will use that on. How many of them are there in front of me?
You see 4.
I can use it on all 4, so I'll use it on all 4 of them. I'm like, hello, my name is Tolvin. You might be able to understand me, but this is going to be a one-sided conversation. Can you let me out of
They
this
immediately
vine, please?
like start like kind of freaking out. There are a couple of them back away. One of them's like looks at you like curiously like, oh, oh. And another one like actually kind of pulls out like a club and like bonks you on the head with it.
Rude.
Told you, like, no, please stop. That's not helping. Oh, for the love of the gods, could you let me go? I'm pretty sure I don't have anything you want. Granted, I wouldn't be able to tell if you wanted anything from me.
As you start talking again, the one with the club just bonks you again. Not enough to like do damage. It's just like an annoying like bonk on the side of the head. It's starting to get a little rough because he keeps hitting like the same spot.
He's just gonna look at him. Could you not? That doesn't feel good. Whatever it is you are.
And so the other one that was kind of curious that isn't bonking you, he approaches. He's got his little wood fingers and he like sticks them into your mouth and like begins to like pull your mouth open and like look inside your mouth. It's very uncomfortable.
It's just like with the handful of fingers. Yes, that is my mouth. Could you please stop that?
And it like looks at the one that's like been bonking you and it just kind of chitters in its own language and it's just like it's trying to figure out how you're speaking and it can understand you. The other two have actually run off. They're not there anymore. They've run off into the woods.
Is there a language any of you speak other than this chittering? That would come in handy right about now.
The one that's like looking in your mouth, it says something, but again, you don't understand it. And it tries to say it again. And then it like lets your mouth go and kind of puts its little wood arms on its hips and just kind of looks at you like, and then it says the same phrase again. And then
He's just gonna look at him and go, sorry, I can't understand you. Like I said, this is going to be one way. You can understand me, but I don't know what you're saying.
The little wood creature is just like, he cocks his head, and he like kind of looks down for a second, and like puts his wood hand on. It's not even like a chin because they don't even have like faces that you can see. It's just wood, and then there's like darkness and their eyes, and that's all you can see. But like it kind of puts it where its chin would normally be, and it's like it's thinking, and then it's like it kind of just an exaggerated shrug, and then it like wanders off into the woods, while the other one's just standing there with its club, like ready to bonk you if you say anything else.
He'll just look at the one with the club and just kind of roll his eyes at it. Well, at least they didn't pull out knives and cooking utensils. That'd be wonderful. He'll ask him again to let him down.
He bonks you when you start talking.
Little bonky shit.
All right, we're gonna go back to the other group right now. The reason it grabbed you is because you were the one that was playing the flute.
Oh, they liked my music.
I'm not just picking on you, Zach, because it's you, and sometimes your characters do things that get you in trouble. This time, it literally had a reason to grab you and run off with you.
Oh, it makes pretty sound. Gimme.
Right? Back towards the camp, you're still trying to find which direction he actually went. Because you rolled a natural 1 to find the real... You went in a complete wrong direction.
Yeah. Yep. Backtrack away.
So you backtrack to the camp and you're like, he went that way, right?
I have an idea. I haven't tried this in a little while, and I'm going to wild shape into an owl.
Ooh, all right. Just a regular sized owl, or like a giant owl, or
whichever has better eyes.
I mean, a giant owl, I believe, is a higher level, so it would just automatically be better. But
Yeah, we'll do giant.
It's
owl.
also big. It's a large token, so
Yeah, we'll do giant owl. A big old owl. Hang on, let me check I can actually do that.
so a regular old owl has advantage on. It has keen hearing and sight. It has a +3 to perception. A giant owl has the same thing, but a +5 to perception because they're a regular owl is a challenge rating 0. A giant owl is a quarter challenge rating. So
Yeah, I'll be a giant owl then.
okay, yeah, you become I believe they're a large tile. Yeah, a large. It's a pretty big owl, and have you wild shaped in front of everyone before?
No,
I think he turned into a starry thing at one
I've
point.
used starry form. but
He's used his starry form, but that doesn't change him into an animal.
that just
An
makes me
animal.
look like I've got
it
constellations.
makes
on me.
like constellations all over his form. Yeah. Anyway, so you see as Trenton turns into a giant owl in front of you guys.
It's a clever trick.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I just take off and
Okay.
scout around the sort of area we came from until we feel like we made a mistake. Like sort of follow that path and see if I can see anything else.
Okay. Make a perception check with a +5. Like roll a d20, add 5.
Laggy. Excuse me. Let's just do it this way. 9.
9.
I mean, you begin to fly over the trees. Looking out with your owl vision in the darkness. It's hard. You don't necessarily see anything from where you're at.
Yeah, I'll fly back to the camp then and sort of shake my head, indicate a no.
Okay.
I realize I can't communicate with them, but
I assume that means you didn't find anything.
Archimedes?
Jeez.
Oh, Captain, we lost another crew member.
Not ready to give up on him yet, but maybe we'll wait for daylight to help our search. It's wandering around in these woods at night is sketchy.
Okay. Well, we'll go back to Tolvin's little adventure, and he's got that the little wood critter bonking him every time he talks.
I'm pretty sure Tolvin would have figured out anytime he says anything, this thing will bonk him, so I'll just sit there and be quiet.
And so you're still
wait.
kind of just hanging there upside down. The blood has definitely rushed to your head a bit. And you're just kind of feeling a little woozy, and then like you can feel the ground begin to like shake with footsteps. Something
He just kind of
big.
thinks to himself, "Oh goody, what could this be?"
Something big is coming your way. And you kind of like look up and you see the little wood critters. The 3 of them come running back. The one that was like investigating your mouth, and then the other 2 who had initially ran off. They come running back into this small clearing that you're hung up in, and they kind of surround you. And then the trees begin to like part as a large tree steps through the other trees, and it looks down at you. Oh, So they have found a friend.
I mean, those three seem nice, but this one keeps hitting me.
He
Hits you.
turns to that one, and he does. The little guy goes to he hauls the club back to bonk you, and you hear the language that the small wood creatures were speaking come from the tree, and that one looks up and kind of stops, and he's like, I do apologize. What brings you to this land, friend?
One of my shipmates, his name was Blood. Blood. I don't know if he has a last name. His mother. We came to see her. I think she's important. I don't know. I didn't ask.
So you are making the journey to. You are making the pilgrimage. Yes, yes. My little friends here were confused because you are not orcs.
No, no, we're not. I'm half elf. We have a few other races with us. We're a bit odd.
Yes. And you see him kind of stop for a second, and he looks at one of the little wood critters, and you hear him speak in the language that you don't understand. And that one looks up at him, and then kind of waves its hand, and then the vine just drops you from about 3 feet off the ground. So you're, whoa!
I mean, he'll right himself, but he's gonna stay seated so he doesn't fall over as he lets all the blood rush from his head.
Okay. He's like, yeah, that is better. Well, I do apologize for my friends. They tell me that you made some lovely sounds, and they wanted to know what it was. They were confused. That's why this one kept smacking you, because it wanted to hear the noise you were making earlier. And that's not the sound you were making when you were speaking to.
That must have been my pan flute. He'll check his
A
pocket,
pan flute.
see if he's still got it on him.
Yeah, I mean, you had everything you had. They didn't
Food was
steal anything.
lovely.
The vine wrapped you up and ran off with you.
Okay. Oh, I was like if I dropped it or something.
No,
But yeah,
because
no,
you
if
put it you put it away because you were casting a spell
Did you want
and
to try this?
waking Blood up, and then you were laughing at the unseen servant making shenanigans.
I like my shenanigans
And then karmic justice snatched you away.
every time. Yeah, no, when you said the footprints, I was like, oh fuck, it's gonna be a troll.
No, not
I'm
quite.
gonna have to try and convince him that I'm full of bugs and I'm not good to eat. Yeah, he'll pull out his pan flute and be like, "This is what I was using to make the sound."
By all means.
Yeah, he'll just start playing his flute again.
Okay, make a performance check. Nothing like a natural one to get you squished by a bunch of woodland creatures.
Oh, that'd be amazing. What happens?
No, I
Looks like he
mean,
got beat to death with a tree.
you begin playing it, and the sound drifts through the trees. And Jack, you have a passive perception of 24, so you can hear.
Am I asleep again, or am I just getting back to camp and?
Well, I mean, you have just decided to give up,
Oh, okay.
and suddenly you can hear a sound on the wind because it's still all you can hear is the sound of the campfire popping, and that's it. No, there's still no nature noises around you. So it's still eerily quiet, and then you can hear it on the wind, the sound of this just the faintest sound of a flute playing, a pan flute.
Shut everyone up. I can hear his pan flute playing.
Okay, and
It's that way.
you begin to follow the sound. Smash cut back to Zach.
How
and
long?
The
Sorry,
four,
how
li-
long
the
would
four.
that have been?
What do you mean?
Would I have dropped out of wild shape?
I don't know. Jack had just been like, "Well, we're gonna wait until morning to try to see if we can find him because tromping around in the dark is a bad idea." And then like you guys were starting to, they were starting to get settled, so you might have shifted out of it because your crew was your teammates were beginning to settle back into their like bedrolls around the fire to wait for the last bit of time. And then Jack was like, "Wait, I hear something." So you probably would have shifted out of it.
Yeah.
To go back to bed.
Yeah, no worries.
But back to Trent. Tolvin, playing his pan flute, sitting there on the ground. The four little like wood creatures, they just begin to like dance around, start like dancing around Tolvin. And the tree he's just like, it is very soothing. I see why they liked it. And he's just kind of like rocking back and forth, and he's got his eyes closed, just enjoying the sound of the music.
I'm just imagining a bunch of mini baby Groots dancing around.
But yeah, I mean, about, I don't know, 10 minutes later, the tree like stops, and like you see him glance off into the woods, and the four little wood critters, like, they also stop, and then you realize why no one saw them, because when they're not moving, they're just fucking trees. And you're like you were like looking at the little wood creatures, but as soon as they just stop, they're just immediately still, and you're like, I know you were standing there dancing, but you're like,
If I had rolled another 27, might I have seen them, or was it just impossible to see?
I mean, like, they were far enough away from you that you couldn't see them.
Yeah.
They were just because they were there. That's why all the other woodland critters and stuff, they just dispersed, and that's why it was so quiet. Was because that they were there observing you. But they were far enough away where you just couldn't really see them.
Yeah.
You didn't really have a chance because when they're standing still, you can't tell that they're not a tree.
It's like when a mimic looks like a chest. As far
Yeah.
as you're concerned, it's a chest.
Yep. Anyway, they've all stopped, and the big tree has also stopped, and none of them are moving, and you're still kind of just playing your flute, like, and then you realize you can hear people approaching, and you see as your team approaches the clearing that you're sitting in the middle of.
As soon as I see them, because I'm assuming I don't see anything wrong around them, I'm gonna run up.
Yeah, you don't see the creatures because they have become tree at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fine. We were worried about nothing.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I am now. It was the. This is going to sound insane. It was the tree.
I mean, that
And-
kind of makes sense. There was a vine that grabbed you. What happened to it?
Well, it has resumed being tree.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to run that by me again. Resumed being a tree.
Yeah, I don't entirely know what they are, but it went from being not a tree to a tree.
Does this sound familiar to me at all?
Or blue.
I mean, okay. So at this point, Blood, you would know that there are tree creatures that live on this island. You've never seen one, but you've heard stories. You don't know what they are. Brent, you being a druid, you know that there are things out there like living trees, like intelligent trees. Don't think you've ever met one.
Oh,
Captain, I have heard of trees that could speak.
well, me too.
Okay.
They liked the sound of my flute and wanted to figure out where it was coming from, and they went an odd way of going about it.
Sounds like you've had quite the adventure. Where did they wander off to?
You're never alone when there are trees around.
Or I guess you said they went back to being trees? I like, are these the trees? I'll just point to two random trees that are probably not.
I mean, he'll look to where the big tree was and be like, these are my companions. They're the ones that are on the pilgrimage with me. He'll point to Blood and go, we're here to see his mother. Blood, what is your mother's name?
I don't know if I ever sent it to her.
You did not. He said she was a priestess.
Her name is
Oh.
Jumelia.
Jamelia, but I call her Mum.
Right, so she's a priest, right? So Priestess Jamelia? That's who we're here to see.
Yeah.
Do we see any response from the tree?
Nope.
Are you feeling all right, Tolvin?
Are the
Did
trees
you-
talking to you right now?
No, they're not.
Did you hit your head when you were being dragged away by that vine?
No, but it did hang me upside down for quite some time.
Maybe that's what it is. Why don't you come back to camp? Maybe some rest will help clear your head.
I like that idea. And then I'm gonna just cast Dancing Lights and keep playing my flute as we walk back to
Oh,
camp.
so you resume playing your flute after you're done talking.
Yeah, after he's done talking, I'll cast Dancing Lights to light up the area and then just start playing the flute.
Okay, he starts playing the flute, and you guys were making fun of him. There's this guy who's talking to trees. He's talking to trees. The four little wood guys, they begin dancing again.
Oh!
What?
Oh!
He takes one hand off the pan flute, keeps playing with the other, and just kind of points at him.
Maybe you're not as crazy as we thought.
Trent
Good news, Trenton. You're back to being the crazy one.
just clapping and clapping and dancing with them.
Blute's like, oh, they're so cute.
I'm just picturing Blood picking one up and accidentally snapping it in half.
No. He knows his own strength and he would not pick it up because he would probably accidentally snap it in half.
And
It's so cute. Squeeze, head puffs off.
so the big tree, it comes out of its like frozen state, and he goes, and you see it leans down, and Jack, you're just like, and Blood and Trent, you're looking up at this face on this tree, and it just kind of looks at you, and it goes,
Hi.
be nice to the trees. You never know when one of us will be watching.
Yeah, we could do that. Is it okay if we take our friend back to camp?
As long as he comes back.
Hey. Okay. We'll see about visiting next time we're on the island.
No, next time. In the morning.
Do Do you want to keep him forever?
Look at Trenton.
We can keep him forever.
It wasn't an offer. It was a question.
So the thing is, we kind of need Solvin here. Complete our pilgrimage for Blood. So we can certainly visit from time to time, but perhaps not in the morning. That might be less than ideal.
He kind of looks at the four creatures around him, and you hear him speak the language that none of you understand.
That weird not elven again. What is with everything?
It is the weird not elven. It's the close to elven but not elven. and the four creatures, they're just kind of like they're like dancing around, and then like you see them like you see a tree get sad. They're
I've
like
upset the children.
they're like their shoulders like droop, their eyes go down.
I've never seen a sad tree before.
Well, I mean, it looks like they understood the message. So, all's well?
And the one that was bonking Tolvin earlier, like kind of waddles up to Jack, pulls out his club, and bonks you on the noggin.
Look at the big tree, like, I'm not fighting back.
He's like, they are sad, but they understand. They wish for your friends to come to their home and play for everyone.
How many is everyone? Also, where is their home? Your home? Or their?
Oh, it is not my home. My home is all around you. Their home is not too far from here, and their village has roughly, I'd say 100 or so.
There would be quite a crowd.
Yes, they do not have music. Not in the way your friend plays it. They are able to make music by banging sticks on trees and stumps and each other, and it is very much a part of their lifestyle to dance and play music. But they have not heard this beautiful sound your friend makes, and they like it.
I don't know, Tolvin, does that sound like something you'd be interested in doing at some point?
I mean, I can always come and visit once we're done with Blood's pilgrimage. I don't see why not. I don't believe we had anything pressing after that.
I can think of one place that I'd really like to be that isn't here.
Where would that be?
I'll like try and feel for where the Fae is pulling me, and I'll just like point. It's like that way ish.
And like when you like concentrate on it, you're like, yeah, that way. The big tree is like, oh.
You know something about all this?
I can feel the pull you speak of. It calls to all magic creatures of the forest.
Well, I consider myself either magic or of the forest, but here I am.
You
Pres-
have made a deal with a fey creature.
that what I did? I barely
Oh.
remember any of it.
Jack, don't you remember that's what Katris and Yoki did? Oh, they got in so much trouble.
I do remember that. Thought I had learned a lesson from all that, but clearly I did not.
Hmm. You must fulfill the contract.
Speaking of the
You-
contract, they mentioned two of our former comrades who are now regrettably died at sea. They said that they would have to fulfill the contract as well? Is there any terms in this so-called contract that exempts somebody from fulfilling it? I figured death would be a big point, but clearly that's not the case.
Hmm. Death is not the end. Their souls cannot move on to the afterlife if they still have debts to pay in life. And they have debts to pay if they have a contract with the Fae.
Poor Katris and Yoki.
Imagine them haunting our old ship, which is now at the bottom of a bay. Like, what the hell?
That's exactly where they are.
Oh, that's rough.
So they can't pass on. They're probably trying to serve as crew on their old ship. Oh
Oh,
no.
so fucking sad. Oh my god.
Oh,
Well, at least they're together and, you know, they're ghosts together.
no. They're just trolling people at the docks. Well, we may need to make a detour at some point. Anyways, this has been extremely helpful. I guess the last thing I'm not clear on is what exactly the contract entails to fulfill.
That I do not know. It depends on the Fae that you were contracted to.
Let's say the Fae's a total jerkface and likes to stow away upon ships. What kind of contract would that be?
I do not recognize this creature by your definition.
Well,
It
that's
was
mostly all I remember about him.
it was a sea elf, if I remember correctly.
It was, you say, an elf?
Yes.
Well, elves are not fey creatures.
Sea elf, wasn't it?
Hmm? No,
Wasn't the person who came on board a sea elf?
no, not technically, no.
Did they look like a sea elf?
Not technically, no.
Ah,
They they hold on, let me go see if I can find a picture.
I just put that she's a blue person speaking Sylvan. Bunsy.
Yeah. Neat.
I mean, she looks like an elf, but she's not. I mean, when you say sea elf, he's like, sea elves. I have met a couple, but I do not think they are fae. Because sea elves are actually just a subclass of elf.
I've actually got written in my notes she elf.
She S-H-E?
Yes.
Okay, it's more accurate. Because you have, I believe, one of your, I mean, at least some of your former crew were sea elves.
Yeah.
I mean, we go through crew so fast it's hard to tell.
It's did the names Iman and Nami mean anything to you?
And you kind of see him recoil when you say those names, and he's like, "Oh, you are enholden to trickster fae."
Not me. I was just a messenger.
Trenton's just like,
Just the
I gotta
translator.
stay away from this.
Is that more bad than other Fey types?
Well, if you were a trickster and you wanted someone to do something for you, what would you have them do?
Probably still
They,
aboard a ship and trick them into giving
they like to play pranks, but those pranks can be dangerous.
You mean like maybe stowing away a couple of big blue nasty things on the ship that kill some of the crew?
I know not of what you speak, but those two are not to be trifled with.
Dow Jack.
As
Hmm.
an example, perhaps they have someone who has broken a contract and they want you to do something to those people. You would have to do it. No matter what. There are some powerful people out there who have betrayed Fey contracts.
And what happened to them?
Well, sometimes they send their new contracts to try to end the old contract. And as you know, death does not end the contract.
Then why do they kill him?
No, they don't kill them. They send people like you to bring them to them. Which usually ends up in people like you dying.
How do you know all this? You're stuck on an island in the middle of nowhere.
I just know.
Magic works in mysterious ways.
I am old, much older than you would think. I've been around since there was no Feywild, and Fey creatures walked in this.
Kind of glad I don't know Fireball now. I was sitting here going, I'm going to burn all these little bastards.
Oh God, that's a good way to get the orcs to hate us. Just burn down their magical forest.
It's fine. It attacked us. It was self-defense.
But perhaps we will see you again when you come to visit my little friend. Music for them.
Where would I find them if, well, not if, but when we come back?
Oh, just come to this part of the forest and play your music. They will find you.
Ominous.
Well, sounds easy enough.
And he's like, but for now, I must sleep. And he just kind of watches the tree becomes a tree right before your very eyes. You cannot, like, you look up, you can, like, you try to focus on where his face was, but it's like, is that a face? Or is that just the way the tree is shaped? Impossible to tell.
See, the tree has become tree again. I'm
I
not
s-
crazy.
I see what you were saying.
The other four, like, kind of like run up around Tolvin and, like, they just do, like, this kind of, like, group hug between the four of them with him in the middle, wrap their little wood arms around him. And then the one that, like, was prying into his mouth earlier, like, chitters at him in the language you do not understand, and the four of them race off into the woods.
Oh, Tolvin, you made friends.
Y'all are so cute.
Well, I'm definitely glad one stopped bonking me in the head. That wasn't fun. Right,
I guess I am the only crazy one.
luckily for us, you are. I guess we're off then to the wherever the hell it is we're going.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You find the beaten path once more, just as dawn is about to break.
Busy night.
Busy night. I need anybody who's not resistant to cold damage to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Ba, 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 ba.
Why do you have a plus? What is the +4 from? Brutish durability. Tolvin,
Oh.
Jack, you guys suffer a point of exhaustion from
Didn't sleep
the
or
the cold
shit.
night, exposure to the elements. Blood, you're fine. You've slept in this cold weather plenty of times.
Woo. I forgot about that brutish durability. I think that's new. Yeah, 7th level.
Gotcha. So, Tolvin and Jack, you guys wake up. You're like, oh, that wasn't long enough sleep. And you're just kind of like shivering, even with the bedroll and the fire. Just, it can only block out the cold so much.
I'm so ready to be out of this damned cold.
Emiga's like, morning.
No. Nope.
No, nope.
Trenton gets up. He's like, "It was a little bit nippy last night, wasn't it?"
Tolvin is going to give Imiga and Trenton kind of a shitty look, just like, fuck you too. It's cold.
It's cold.
Oh, it's all right, guys. The climb's gonna get real hard, and you'll get real warmed up.
Oh, goody.
This is not reassuring.
So, as you head out for your second day of travel up the mountain, who would like to keep an eye out? And what? And I'm assuming the same marching order.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna bother trying because, you know,
Blue doesn't care.
nah, he doesn't. He's like, we made new friends last night. Maybe we'll make some more.
Tolvin's more interested in periodically casting prestidigitation to keep his hands, face, and feet warm.
I guess I'll keep an eye out.
Okay.
Do you want perception?
Yep. One thing. Throughout the day, you see some wildlife around, a couple deer, bunch of birds, squirrels, rabbits. About halfway through the day is when the snow begins to fall. And you keep walking into the snow, and the snow begins to get deeper as you're traveling on this well-beaten path. By the time night rolls around, it's winter and cold.
Boy.
How much longer do we have till we're there?
That I don't know. as in me, I don't know.
Probably roughly 2 more days of travel.
Maybe 2 more days. Depends on if you slowpokes can keep up.
2 more days of this.
I
Oh,
told
boy.
you it was in the mountain.
Yeah, but I wasn't expecting this kind of mountain.
Why don't I? Jack, if you want, I can take first watch. Feeling pretty good right now.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take second watch.
Yeah, okay.
Just as we're about to go to, as we're about to settle down, Trenton will pat Blued on the shoulder and go, "Good luck with the watch tonight," and cast guidance.
I mean, that only lasts a minute.
He's going to make the check straight away, right?
That's not how it works.
Then he won't bother doing that.
You can still encourage
Yeah,
me.
yes, he's going to make the check immediately, but the perception is for the 2 hours he's watching on watch. So guidance cannot give you a boost to the 2 hours you're watching,
But
keeping watch.
does he notice anything within the first minute of his watch?
You guys aren't even asleep yet.
Trenton goes to sleep in 30 seconds. I have you know.
Guidance just drains him. He casts it and he's out.
All right, go ahead and make a perception check, Blood, since you're keeping first watch. I'm assuming you guys light a fire, because if not, you're going to have a really rough time.
Yes.
Because you don't have cover. You don't have a tent. You don't have a bubble. You don't don't have a way to get out of the elements.
Of course. I'll even chop down a
limbs.
tree if I have to.
Okay. It's definitely more about like finding wood that's already fallen, that's dry, because everything's covered in snow now. 14. Yeah, you keep watch out through the night, and it's not like the night before where everything went quiet. You can hear the sounds of woodland creatures around. But yeah, your watch comes to an end without incident.
I will go wake Jack up.
Okay. Jack, you come to the wake. You're shivering. You're cold. You don't have cold weather clothing, and your bedroll's not thick enough. At this point, it just doesn't feel like it's doing anything, but it is, even though it sucks.
This fire is my best friend.
You get as close as you can without burning yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead and make a perception check.
19.
Okay. Yeah. You spend your watch listening to the sounds of the night, watching as best as you can without, being able to see in the dark like your companions. And your watch comes to an end without incident.
Did anybody volunteer to third watch?
I don't think anybody said they were going to take it, so you could wake up
Alright.
either of them.
Written.
Yes, Captain?
You're up for third watch.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception check. 26.
Beautiful.
I mean, you're fine. You love the cold. You're like, oh man, these suckers, they're all feeling like cold, and you're like, oh man, it's nice. You're just like sitting out there, shorts and a t-shirt, in the snow. Them old country bumpkins who just go out in, they go
Shorts
jump
and
in
vest top all year round.
Yeah, they like to go to the frozen lake and jump in and swim around. Those kind of crazy people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so the Russians.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, you keep an eye out. You're just like, man, this is nice. And then your watch comes to an end without incident.
If something else happens to Tolvin, I'm gonna laugh.
Was there sounds this time around though?
Yeah. Normal woodland sounds.
I go and wake up Tolvin.
Okay.
Tolvin?
Oh, by the
Right.
gods, it's fucking cold. He'll get up and be like, yes, I know, it's my turn.
Yeah. Make a perception check.
Tolvin is going to half-ass his watch and sit there and like ritually cast Unseen Servant, so he doesn't have to get out of his bedroll, and just have the Unseen Servants tend to the fire while he just sits there.
Okay.
He's gonna be that piece of shit. He's cold. He's miserable. Fuck this shit.
I considered grasping vining Tolvin out of his bedroll just so he got to relive his experience.
That'd be so
PTSD.
funny.
But yeah, he'll do that, and then he'll wake up Imiga.
No, he won't.
Yay!
Because I've been rolling for the random encounter, and I rolled it now.
When I decided to be a
When you
lazy
decided
sack of shit.
that you're gonna not do your watch. All right, here we go.
I mean, even on the ship, Tolvin usually talks other people into doing more than their own fair share of the work.
Well, these guys were going to be a little bit further away when I showed you this, but not now.
Oh, look. Doggies.
Oh, good.
So Tolvin, you're just like sitting there, and then eventually, like, your passive kicks in, and you're like shivering, while the unseen servant is like poking the fire and keeping it stoked. And then all of a sudden, you see movement, and you glance up, and you see two glowing yellow eyes watching you.
Oh,
Beep.
for the love of fuck. Well, shit. I mean, Tolvin's
And
gonna start freaking out.
so this one is just staring at you. And as soon as you begin to freak out, we need to roll initiative.
Yep, Tolvin's lazy ass wasn't ready.
Guess I better put get on the map.
There it goes. Jeez, I couldn't tell if it was selected my token or not because it's so laggy.
I couldn't either.
All right, so
I can't see the turn order.
bring it back up.
Oh, now it went away. Oh, there it goes.
Okay, so first round of combat. Jack, you hear Tolvin go, "Oh my god!" And like you're like, and you're stunned for the first round of combat. Trent, you hear Tolvin go, "Oh my god!" and you're stunned for the first round of combat. Imega is also stunned for the first round
That's
of combat.
good because I did not have anything to do.
And as soon as Tolvin freaks out,
Nom 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 nom.
Oh, yay, there's more than one.
Oh, good.
Oh, fucking hell.
okay, so you're all prone. Oh man. All right. Two of them are going to attack Tolvin. Are going to bite him.
I guess Kim's friend gets to watch the episode 1 of the new campaign.
17 to hit Tolvin.
We'll be fine-ish.
Yeah, yes, that hits.
Okay, you take 9 points of piercing damage. You're already prone, so you don't have to make a strength saving throw. Otherwise, it would just throw you on the ground. The other one goes to bite you. 16 to hit.
Unfortunately.
15 points of piercing from that one. Jack, you come, you're like, what is he freaking? And then all of a sudden you see glowing yellow eyes coming at you, and you're like, oh god, you get your arm up as it goes to like open your throat. 22 to hit.
Yeah.
For 11 points of piercing damage, and it just chomps around your arm, and you're like, stub up.
Wake up to glowing eyes and then teeth.
Yep. Blue, the same thing. You're like, going up. 23 to hit. That's you, Blue.
Oh, sorry. I was writing about Tolkien half-assing his shift and getting us in trouble.
But you
23
don't
dead.
know that.
Wow.
You don't. Blue does not know that.
No, but I'm putting it in my notes.
It is
So
an
I'll
important
remember
thing to
next
remember.
time.
Okay, you take 11 points of piercing damage as all of a sudden teeth are sinking like into your side, and you're like, oh god! And these animals you have seen before. The orcs hunt them regularly. They are giant white winter wolves. And another one's going to bite you because YOLO. A 9's probably not going to get there, though.
No.
Okay. All right, Blood. You are now fully awake. You are prone, but you are awake, so you're not stunned like the people who went before the doggos. Suddenly,
Okay.
Jack, you are not so stunned anymore. You're like, oh my god!
I'm wide awake now.
Half my movement speed to stand up, of course.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna attack. Which one was the one that actually bit me?
I guess the north one.
The one on top. Okay, I will attack that asshole.
Yes, 18 does hit for 15 points of damage.
And swing again. Okay.
The 10 does not hit, though.
Whoa! You damn wolves! And that will be my turn.
You do have action surge, just so you know. As a fighter.
Sorry, it's so laggy. Okay, action surge.
It allows you to take another action this turn. You can use it once per day.
Oh, that's right. If I
and
use
it allows you to attack 2 more times.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That's a good idea.
Okay.
Same wolf.
It's the only time I'm going to remind you. But he's a relatively new character for you, so, and you've never played a fighter before, so.
Well, Agatha was a fighter, but I didn't get to play her for very long.
Yeah. The first attack misses, obviously. The 8-10 is not going to get there. But the 27 does hit for 10 damage.
Perfect.
All right. And that's it. You, like, get up and you're like, you stupid, stinking wolves! And just, but, you know, you're swinging wildly and you miss a couple times, but you manage to carve into it a couple times. The red blood splattering the white snow and the white fur of the wolf. Tolvin, you were just like sitting there shivering. You saw the eyes across from you. You're like, oh shit! And then you felt like teeth sink into your shoulder and into your leg, and you're like, oh my god! As 2 more come from behind you.
This is amazing.
Is it?
I'm going to upcast Bane to hit all 5 of them.
Okay.
I
So
need
wisdom
them
save,
to
right?
make me. Let me double check.
Or it's a charisma save, I think.
That one is a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
Ooh.
The one that might have had a chance is probably the first one.
It meets, so it did not.
So it did not. So they all
Yep.
failed. They're all banned
Yep. So they all now get to subtract a D4.
from their attack rolls and saving throws. Yes.
Yep. And then I am going to use my bonus action to bardically inspire Blood. Just be like, Blood, the ghost killer, please kill these quickly. Blood, you're our only hope.
Okay. I did not wait. Oh,
and
she
then
was.
I'll use
Immiga
half my
was
movement
stunned.
to stand
Got it.
up.
Okay. All right, Jack, you're up. As you see, a pack of wolves has gone to town on your crew.
Oh boy. I guess I'm gonna clamber out of my bedroll and stand up and take a poke at this guy right in front of me.
Okay.
Yeah, normal roll. Go.
23 definitely hits. For 25. Okay.
25? 22?
22, sorry.
Okay. I mean, I'll take the extra damage, but. And then offhand stab.
18 hits for 6.
Aha! Get cut, doggo.
So like you stand up and you're just like, and you see blood like spray, and then you jab your second sword into it, and more, just a little bit, a lot less blood the second time, but
Cool.
all over the snow and the white fur.
That's my turn.
Okay, Trent, you're up.
I will. As a bonus action, excuse me, sorry. Cast Flame Blade.
Are you going to stand up?
Yeah, stand up. Sorry.
Okay.
Cast Flame Blade.
Okay.
Action to make a melee spell attack. How?
Yep.
How do I make a melee spell attack? What do I add? What do I
It's
roll?
just your spell attack bonus.
It's +9.
+9?
My spell attack bonus.
Yeah, I mean, my spell attack bonus is +8.
Just seems kind of high for this level.
It would be his wisdom modifier plus his proficiency bonus.
Yep.
And then plus any magical things that up his attack. If he has anything like that.
That's not the right character sheet.
What are the fucking chances?
3 damage.
Wow.
God damn. Well, better to roll
Wow.
that on your damage and not on the actual attack.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I did give you a moon cycle. Okay. 28 to hit for 3 damage. Okay.
Yeah, that'll do me.
You rolled 3 ones.
Right.
Yeah.
That's impressive. All right. It's Imiga's turn, and she's like, "Whoa, where did these come from?" Hold on, I closed her character sheet. Hold on. And she's going to cast Beacon of Hope.
It's fire damage if that makes any difference.
It does not.
Dang it. I was hoping for something else.
So she casts Beacon of Hope on everybody. So any healing that you take is full from whatever source it comes from.
Okey-dokes.
But that's all she can really do right now. All right. It's the wolf's turn. Let's see. This one's going to shuffle right here. Perfect. They are going to.
That's just rude.
Yeah. I mean, if you die, you die. All 5 of them are going to open their mouths and aim like towards the middle, which is pretty much going to get everyone from each one of them. And exhale freezing cold breath. I believe that'll hit everybody.
If it makes you feel any better, I have an idea for my next character.
Me too.
So I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
Well, good
5
at
I'm
these.
times.
proficient in those. Blood, remember, you have Bardic Inspiration.
Is that 1d4?
Let me double check.
I mean,
I
it's at
believe
least a
mine is
D6.
higher.
It's probably a D8 at this point.
Oh, I failed with at least one.
No.
Oh, Jack.
Mine is a D8.
It's only one. Or
Jack
two.
only failed 1.
Okay, the 13 was a pass.
13 was a pass, yes.
Oh,
Okay,
wait.
so
How
How
many-
much damage is the first one? That's going to be important for me because I'm pretty sure I failed the first one.
You failed the first one.
Yeah. And if it does enough damage, this can outright kill me.
It did not roll the damage.
Yay.
23 points of cold damage.
All right, I'm out on the first one because I had 14 hit points.
Yeah.
How?
So Bane falls off.
So Bane falls off. Blood, you saved the first one, so you take... Is it half? Yep. So Blood, you take... 16? No. Good lord, 11. 11 points of damage from the first one. Jack, you take 11 points of damage from the first one. Trent, you take 11 points of damage from the first one.
halved because cold resistant.
So 5 damage from the first one.
Okie
I gotta roll for Imega. She also takes 5 total.
We gotta do
Okay.
that 4 more times.
Yep. For the second one. Jack, you take 11.
Yay, consistent.
Trent, you take 5.
again.
Does this second one also hit Tolvin?
Yep.
Okay, there's 2 fails.
Yep. Well, to be fair, if anybody who deserved to die to this fight,
Guy
You're
was
not
slacking
wrong.
off.
the guy who literally was like, I'm not going to pay attention on my watch, and I rolled. Okay, so for the first one, first 2, I was like, I have to roll above a 15 for them to show up. I rolled an 11 and a 14. Then the second 2, I was like, I have to roll above a 10 for them to show up. I rolled a 2 on Trent's watch, and then roll a 13 on Tolvin's watch, because I was rolling them to myself. Like, GM rolling secretly. So the wolves showed up on Tolvin's watch.
And Tolvin is a bit of a lazy bastard who likes
Blood,
to be the center of attention.
I need you to roll another dexterity save, Blood, for the second one. That's a failure, so you take 22 points of cold damage. And let's roll the third one's damage. Jack, you take 9 points of damage from the third one, because I believe you saved the third one, right? Yeah, okay. Brent, you
Yes.
take
4.
4. Blood, you take 19. I forgot to roll the save on Imiga's second one. She made that one. She made that one. So she takes 5 and 4, respectively.
I
So
should
9
actually
total.
be at 5 because I had temporary.
You
hit
had
points.
temporary hit points. All right. So for the fourth one, which is the one that Jack failed, 24 points of cold damage to Jack. Need Tolvin is dead.
God
He
damn.
did.
So much
Dead.
for our
Yay!
promise to return.
Blood, you take 12 points of cold damage from that one.
I take 6.
Trent, you take... Yes, you take 6. Thank goodness for Imiga and Trent making their saves, but Imiga failed her, so she takes 12. So Jack is unconscious. Tolvin is dead. And we have one more, which technically, Jack, you saved on, but you're on the ground, so you take 2 death saving throws.
Failures. Oh, I gotta take them both.
And of course, I roll the lowest on the last one.
And that would be the one I failed.
But Blood saves, so Blood only takes 5 more cold damage.
Oh my god.
Trenton fails, still only takes 5.
Trent fails, still only takes 5. And Imiga succeeds, so she takes 2 from the last one.
I
Okay.
literally went down in 5s and 4s.
Jack is unconscious and bleeding out. Tolvin is dead. Blood is barely standing. Blood, it is your turn. I
Okay.
recommend using Second Wind.
Yeah, I was just scrolling down to look at it because it's a bonus action. Okay, I'm gonna use Second Wind.
Okay. It's full heal. Technically, Beacon of Hope had a chance to fall off when she got hit by 5 people, but I'm not going to roll 5 more times. It's taking too long.
Okay, so I don't have to roll then. I just
Yeah, you just
You-
heal full.
automatic.
You take the max.
Oh, you guys! I was at 1 health point
She had 1
or
HP in a
hit
drink.
point. Yeah.
You do not full to. No, that's not how Second Wind works.
Oh.
You take the maximum amount that you possibly can.
Oh, which is I think
It's a
10.
D10 plus your fighter level, so
So
it should be
17.
17. Not 81 points of heal. 80 points of healing.
Was that
listen.
all?
That would be
He has
impressive.
81 HP.
All right. I guess I'm gonna. Shit.
All over the floor?
I can't.
Getting a Swifty in here.
I can't stabilize Jack. There's no way I'm going to be able to do it. So I'm just going to keep attacking because that's all I can do.
Get your
You
murder
have
on.
action surge as well.
He already,
I already
used
it.
last
So
turn.
top one, and then I'm going to attack again.
10 points of damage, 18 points of damage. Okay.
And that will have to be my turn. That's all
Okay.
I've got.
Tolvin, you're dead.
I told
Jack,
you
Uh,
you're dead.
Do you want me to recycle this character sheet, or did you want to give me another one so I can start on that process?
Success.
Okay, Jack succeeds 1 time.
Yes.
Trent, your turn. Whatever you want to do, man. If you want him to be in the archive, I can give you a new one.
That's fine. Either way, I can recycle this one, or you can throw him in the archive. Maybe have something later on down the line haunt Jack with the memories of his dead companions.
I
That's
think it's
not.
worth.
It wouldn't be haunting Jack. You're the one who gets yourself killed. Like
You're not.
this
You're
one.
not. You're not
This
wrong.
one is your fault too.
I've written in
Most of them have been my fault. Not gonna lie, but I'm
I've-
just throwing it out there.
I've written in
I
my
mean, Fuck
notes.
Jack too.
Tolvin died. He deserved it.
Like literally,
Oh.
Squawky picked up a cursed item, and then Jack ended up killing him. Less your fault than the freaking paladin who challenged a werebear, and Tolvin who decided to slack off during watch and got himself killed. Well, maybe you'll get
Yeah.
the Dragonborn fighter back maybe at some point.
Maybe.
Okay, Trent, what would you like to do?
I am gonna risk it. Step away. Step next
For all
to
of
Jack.
the biscuits?
It's definitely going to take a bite out of crime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it has a. Yeah, it doesn't have pack tactics on you. Wait, no, does not have pack tactics on you, so it does not get advantage. 13 to hit, probably not.
Nope.
Okay.
And then I will cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level.
Okay, so that's 29 for Jack. You're all beacon. You all still have Beacon of Hope, so it's max healing from the source. So it's a D8 times 3, so 24 plus your Wisdom modifier is 29.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it get anything from the higher level cast though?
That is it, because it's you cast it at 3rd level, so it's a D8 per level you cast it. So that's the 24.
Right.
Then plus
Okay,
your Wisdom modifier is 29.
that makes sense. Yeah. So.
Jack, you come. You.
Oh.
You're cold. You're like, oh god, that freezing breath is rough.
Just ice on my skin.
Yep. All right. Well, it's Imiga's turn. Let's see if she can save everybody.
Sorry, for bonus action, I was gonna
Oh.
Starry Form Archer.
Okay. She is also going to risk it for the biscuit.
Oh shoot! Sorry, I should have been rolling concentration.
For what?
Flame blade.
Oh. Okay, well, roll 5 times. You
What
roll
is it?
less than a 10.
What is it? Constitution.
Yep, Constitution saving throw.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Slowly going down. Hey, you good. Look at that. 19, 18, 16,
Nice.
14. I was like, it's going down. Aw. She's also going to take the chance to step away from the wolf. It does not have pack tactics on her, but the 19 will still hit. God damn it. All right. So she takes 9, and she has to make a strength saving throw. If she does not, she cannot go heal people because she will fall down. She falls down.
God damn.
And she's like, son of a gun, so she's going to heal herself because she took a lot of damage too.
It's slippery. She slipped.
No, it bit her and threw her to the ground.
Oh.
She's going to cast it at level 2, so she gets 21. But now it's the wolf's turn. Tolvin's
Again?
no. Yes. Tolvin's out of the way. He's dead. I'm just going to delete his token.
That's how dead you are.
Jack is still on the ground.
I mean, an easy breathing target.
They are just going after prey, so 2 of them are going to bite at Jack. 25 to hit.
Yeah, that'll get there.
11 points of piercing damage from the first one. 17 to hit.
No, because that is my armor class.
Okay, so the second one misses you. The other one is going to bite at Imiga because she's on the ground for 16 points of piercing damage. The other 2 are going to go after the big angry ogre in their midst. 16?
Nope.
I don't think that hits. 18
That does hit.
for 13 points of piercing damage, and you have to make a strength saving throw, or it yanks you prone. I mean, you can't critically fail saving throws, so your
I'm okay.
15 beats the 14 DC, even though you rolled a natural 1.
Okay.
Okay. All right, well, it's Blood's turn.
All right. I'm going to keep attacking the one on top.
Okay. Blood's just going to town with his axe.
It takes 5 seconds from when I click it for it to actually pop up on my full 20.
Mine's
Okay,
taken
well,
a
the
hot
one
minute
that
too.
you've been wailing on, like you finally bury it deep enough into its neck, and it lets out a whimper, and it just kind of collapses to the ground.
Okay, and then I'm going to roar at it like ferally because I'm pissed and and then turn around to face the other one.
Okay, make a performance check. 13. Okay.
That's my turn.
Jack, you are up.
Yay!
You wake up and you're like, ow. It just bites you, and then the other one tries to bite you, but sinks its teeth into your armor, and you're like, no.
Shake it off and clamber up to my feet, and then try and take a couple of stabs at the injured one.
Okay.
Do you get sneak attack? Because I have a buddy within 5 feet of my target.
But you do not have advantage to hit.
But I do not have advantage to hit.
23 will hit, though.
For 22 damage.
For 22.
I got temporary hit points.
Yay!
Still alive.
Yes.
I'm going to keep stabbing.
They have a lot of health. Not so much on the armors.
Does a 14 hit?
Yep.
Okay.
Like I said, not so much on the armors.
Not so much on the armors. I'm still in danger. But it's not like I have anyone I can go hide behind. I guess I could have run to Blue. But that's my turn.
Didn't you guys buy a bunch of healing potions?
Catrus did. I think they might have been on him when he died.
Yeah, a live guy is a fancy tricorn.
Priorities, right?
Super useful.
Hat
All right,
first.
Trent, you're up.
If I use a ranged spell attack, am I at disadvantage because I'm close to this one?
Yes. If you are within 5 feet of an enemy, even if you're targeting a different enemy, you have disadvantage on ranged attacks.
Well, I'm gonna go disadvantage ranged attack for the one by Imaga.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, roll. Roll a d6. Or yeah, roll a d6. On a 1 to 3, you hit a teammate. On a 4 to 6, you hit a wolf still. 3, you hit a teammate. Roll 1d3. Blued being 1, Imaga being 2, Jack being 3.
Oh boy.
3, 1, 10.
Jack, you take 13 points of radiant damage as Trent fires off his starry form, and it just you just stood up and it blasts you in the shoulder because you couldn't quite get out of the way, and you're like, ah.
Shoot the wolf.
Poor Jack, always getting hit by teammates.
Well, seeing that happened, I am going to. Oh dear. I'm going to turn around and cast Cure Wounds on him again.
Ooh, sorry, Captain.
I'd be like, that wasn't supposed to happen. At level 3 again.
That's
So
still just 29
29.
HP. Yep.
Oh, the healing.
We gotta somehow survive.
Yeah.
All right, it's
my
Imaga's turn. Yeah, I mean technically you rolled a 1 on an attack roll, and usually I end the turn, but that's all right. I'll let you heal Jack.
Oh yeah.
She's gonna
that's true.
stand up, try to move over to Blued again. Going to risk the bite. It misses this time because she actually has decent armor. And she's going to hit Blued with a Cure Wounds at level 4, using her 1 level 4 spell slot. So that is 37 points of healing for Blued.
Oh, thank you, Imaga.
She's like, keep fighting, big guy. And that's it. So now it's the wolves' turn again. These ones, they smell blood in the water. So
I have been bleeding a lot of blood.
2 of them are going to attack Trent. One of them is going to attack Jack with advantage. 19 to hit Trent.
Yes.
8 points of piercing damage, and make a strength saving throw, please. You are prone.
And how much damage rate?
8. 8 damage on the first one, and 14 to hit on the second one.
No.
Probably not, right? Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, and then the 2 against Jack. 12 to hit's not going to get there. A natural 20 will, though. For 22 points of piercing, and make a strength saving throw. Or it throws you to the ground again. Hey, you made it.
Yay.
You it bites you on the shoulder, and you manage to wrench free before it wrestles you to the ground. Blued, you're up.
I'm gonna move so I can get advantage with Trenton, because Trenton is not prone, correct?
Trent is prone.
I am prone.
He fell down.
Okay, so both Jack and Trenton are prone.
Jack is not.
Oh.
But he's not in a position to give you advantage on that one.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. I'll move there anyway. That's fine. And then I'm gonna attack.
Okay.
I'm gonna attack.
Oh yeah, 17 hits for sure. And an initial 20.
Ooh, baby.
Or 14, 21. Okay.
That's my turn.
Okay. At the end of round 4.
But wait, there's more.
Oh,
you
no.
hear and see the releasing of crossbow bolts from the trees around you. And like 10 of them come flying in and pierce into the wolf's hides. This one falls. This one falls. The other 2 take like 3 crossbow bolts and they start yipping and they begin to run away.
I thought you were bringing more wolves, and I was gonna like flip a table or
No,
something.
your performance check was to see if you were loud enough to alert the orc hunting party that was nearby
Oh,
that was going to come a couple rounds from now. See, this fight was going to be hard if you weren't surprised and Zach wasn't being an asshole. And you were supposed to survive 6 rounds for the orc hunting party to come help you. Instead, you got ambushed by wolves. Everyone almost died. Tolvin did die.
Rocks fall, Tolvin dies.
To be fair, he had it coming.
I mean, Imiga runs over to Tolvin and she's like, "Oh my god, he's dead. Does anybody have any diamonds?"
oh, I don't have any diamonds. Sorry.
Why would I have diamonds?
It's like, she's like, "I know a spell that could bring him back, but it costs 300 gold worth of diamonds and I don't have any."
Ah. Yep.
I think like at one point you guys did have gems and diamonds, but that was
Yoki
a while ago. And she's
Yoki
like,
had a lot of them.
yeah, Yoki had a lot of gems, and so she's like, "Oh, well, rest in peace, I guess." She's like, "What happened?"
We
Is
got
that?
ambushed in the night.
Uh,
Go ahead and re-roll one of those 13s and hope for a higher number. Zach, if you didn't hear me.
Yeah, I got it. It's
That's a
15.
higher number.
That's a higher number. All right, you can. That's good. 15, 14, 13, 2 12s, and a 9. It's almost like standard array.
Almost.
so Blood's gonna pipe up and be like, usually they don't come too close to fires, so it's kind of weird that they approached and attacked.
Maybe they were really hungry.
And you glance off to the side as a clad in fully like white furs and dyed leather armor, white like bleached armor, boots. He's got like a hood up. He's even got like a white face mask on. Even his like crossbow is wrapped with like white cloth and like kind of camouflaged in that way.
Neat.
And he just kind of like walks over to you guys and he's like, "Oh." He looks around, sees the dead half elf, and he's like, "Well, guess we weren't in time."
Do I
Either
know
way.
this orc?
You would not know this orc, no.
Oh man, thanks. You saved us.
Wolves are getting more dangerous. What's a ragtag group of non-orcs doing in these here parts?
We're going up to Earthenplot to go visit me mum.
He's like, he glances at you and he's like, "Oh, you're the ogre, the half ogre.
Oh, you've heard of me.
It's your mom speaks about you a lot."
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, I miss her a lot.
And then he's flanked by like a thinner orc. Looks like a female underneath all the furs, but the rest of his hunting party went to chase down the two that ran away. He's like, well, we got some more furs and meats to take back to camp. Oh, it sucks that it seems like you lost a friend.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
A lot more than I
Yeah,
wanted
fuck that guy.
Yeah, it does kind of come with the territory.
Can Trent go to Tolvin's body and find his pipes?
Span flute?
Mhm.
Sure.
That's-
Tolvin, what do you have on your body that Trent can find?
Let me open up his character sheet real quick.
It's a good thing you archived it.
He's got a light crossbow, a dagger. He's got a lute. He's got the pan flutes. You find a letter on him. I don't know if you plan on opening it up, reading it. He's got the. I think I said the light crossbow, his leather armor, a dagger, backpack, bedroll. He's got some candles, a few rations, water skins, and a water skin, and a disguise kit.
I will take the rations, bedroll, like the useful stuff, candles, all of that, and I will take the pan flute and the letter, just in case.
You leave the loot behind?
Trenton can't play a lute, but he knows that these little tree things want to hear the pan flute, so
I mean, it's another musical instrument.
They might
True.
like it.
I'll take the lute as well then, screw it.
Okay.
So that's 5 candles and say
5 days worth of rations.
Yeah, 5 days. Well, it'd be like 3 because we'd been
Yeah.
up here for 2 days.
That's fair.
So hang on, 3 days rations, bedroll.
The orc's like, yeah, you're all looking kind of cold.
Very.
Yeah, we usually sail, so we don't deal with a lot of snow.
Bad idea to come to Erfenblock without warm weather or cold weather clothing.
I'm realizing that now.
He's
that in mind
like,
for future.
stay here.
Okay.
And he heads back like up to where they ambushed from. And he comes back with a couple heavy, they look like hunting backpacks, like not hunting, like climbing backpacks, real big, hefty, they've got a lot of stuff. And he like opens it up and he pulls out like a pretty heavy duty blanket and he tosses it to Jack, who's obviously shivering. Tolvin was also shivering, but he's dead now.
You're not shivering anymore.
God, Zach, what is that? Like 10? 10 characters between the two campaigns?
It's
11
a lot.
now?
There's 6. This will be his 6th character in this campaign alone.
Oh, man.
It happens.
It happens.
No,
Happens
it
to you a
doesn't.
lot.
It doesn't.
It happens to me.
It does.
Hey, man, at least you get to try a whole bunch of different ideas.
Yeah, it's great. It's any idea that pops into my head. I love it.
Okay. He's like, still a couple days away from Erfenblock, so you're probably gonna need that to stay warm. We got plenty
thanks.
bags, and we've actually got the furs to stay warm.
Is Imperial
But,
corn any good out here? I'd hate to just take from you without giving anything in return.
I mean, gold's always useful. Doesn't matter where it's from.
I'll rummage in my pocket and pull out 20 gold, hand it to him.
He's like, I appreciate it. Anything else for trade is also welcome. But I don't. You sounds like you don't have anything that will be super useful to us up here.
Well, the ship's hull's full of lumber and marble.
Marble? That I don't think I'd have any use for that.
Fair. But lumber is useful in most places.
Sure, but hauling it all the way up the mountain from the beach is a lot less worth than just chopping some trees down around the camp.
I get that. Having walked this far and not having made it yet, I can understand that it's unlikely we'll be able to sell many of our goods here. I don't think we've introduced ourselves. I'm Captain Jack Turnbrow, and I'll offer a hand out.
He's like, Rook, and grabs your hand, and you just feel his orc
Ow!
muscles, and you're like,
Just put on my tough face.
He's like, not a captain, but hunting party leader. Sure, we'll go with that. Speaking of, I better go catch up with the rest of my squad and hunt down the rest of those wolves.
Do you know when you're heading back to town?
Probably not for a couple days.
All right, fair enough. I was just asking because it would be perhaps safer to travel as a group, but I think
No,
time is.
we gotta go finish the hunt.
And I wish you the best of luck. And thank you again for
Of course.
saving
Yeah.
us.
Safe
I
travels,
think we owe you our lives.
The
You as well.
the two of them take off in the direction where obviously there's like blood dripping on the snow from the two that were wounded that ran away, and the rest of his hunting party went that way too.
So do we still have the corpses of the wolves here, or did they take them?
They left them here, but it seems like they're gonna come back for them.
Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of drag the bodies over to the side and just stack them out of the way.
Okay.
Listen, I don't want to be looking at them while I'm trying to sleep.
Well,
Although at this point it's pretty much dawn, right?
yeah, that was last shift, so it's
That's
pretty
right.
much time to get up.
Dawn of the third day.
Do you do you bury Tolvin or just leave him lying there in the snow? You're more worried about the dead wolf corpses.
Well, I didn't want to drag his body over and put it in a pile too. That seemed like a little irreverent. But we're not going to be able to dig a
Do we have a
hole
shovel?
in the frozen ground.
And Mika's like, we could grab some stones.
Yeah, I'll help you with that.
Yeah, so you guys gather up some stones for a
The
few
stones.
hours and lay Tolvin to rest on the mountainside of Underok, leading to Erfenplock.
I mean, the best part about this is the second character I've had die in the snow.
Yeah, but the first one was considerably more important to you.
You're not wrong.
Anyway, third day, sans one of your party members.
Oh boy.
I bet a lot of people die on this path. I'm sure it's pretty normal.
Yeah, surprised we haven't just passed crosses constantly.
You have.
We have. You called it.
All right, I'm still leading,
Okay.
but I'm a little less energetic and gung ho about it.
Okay. Whoever's keeping an eye out. Perception for.
I've been
Good grief.
nailing these perception checks.
Yeah, you seem like you're doing pretty good, and you guys travel up the mountainside. It's cold as balls. The slowing gets rough because there is a lot of snow, even though you're on the beaten path. You are going slow, and like as you are climbing up, Trent, you notice behind you that there's a large amount of orcs. catching up to you on the path. But
Cap-
they're just like walking normal speed. They're not.
Captain, there's a large amount of orcs following us.
So there is. And gaining on us. Maybe we should step off the trail, let them pass.
Okay, so you guys like pause for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or at
just
least.
Yeah, and you
kinda
see,
rest.
and you see like a group of about 50 orcs, probably a full longboat worth of, and they're armed, wearing heavy furs. They've got these strange contraptions that look like a stick, a large circular stick with like other sticks through the middle of it attached to the bottom of their feet, and they're like walking on top of the snow. And they've got their heads down. Well, it's not snowing currently, but there's snow everywhere, and they just like pass you. A couple of them kind of look at you weird because you're not wearing winter clothing. You're not orcs, but they're just like, and then they just keep walking.
Trenton just gives like a nervous wave, like a.
We'll fall in behind them as best we can, but they will obviously pull away very quickly.
Yep.
Stupid
And because
snowshoes.
they're wearing snowshoes, they are not helping like your progress
Plow.
because they're still they're not helping plow. They're on top of the snow. You still have to plow through it.
And Blute's like, oh, that looks cool.
See what I was talking about, Blue? We need to get you some fancy shoes.
Yeah, I'd fall through the snow. That wouldn't stop me from falling through the snow. In case you didn't notice, Jack, I'm a big guy.
I mean, those are pretty big guys. I mean, not you, but
I'm the biggest. When I was 10, I was a whole head taller than everyone else.
better.
I'm so proud.
Anyways,
I'm so
I'm
proud of that.
so proud of being a big boy. I guess we shall press on.
Okay. Yeah, night approaches. Still cold as balls.
Is there something kind of like this on the map? The sort of cliffs that we can make camp against?
You could try to find one, yeah.
I'd like to look for one because as it's getting dark and I know it's going to be dangerous just sitting out here in the cold.
Okay, make a survival check. $23. Yeah, you find an alcove. There's a lot of orcs
in the alcove.
in the alcove.
Hey guys, mind if we camp beside you?
They kind of like a couple of them like glance over at you. They're like, move on, stranger.
Oh, come on, it's just a rock. Can't you share a rock?
Make your persuasion check with disadvantage.
Can you share a rope?
Oh no.
You see axes begin to be drawn from belts. A couple of them begin to grab like shields.
Maybe this isn't the cave we're looking for. Come on, Blue.
Oh,
We'll find our own
okay.
cave.
All right, Captain.
and you spend a good hour trying to find something similar. And there's not a lot. That seems like they stopped there because it was a good place to stop. Was the group that passed you earlier.
Is there a tree that we can huddle under at least?
There's lots of trees off the path. You
I
want to
think-
try to find a big one that's kind of got cover a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you find a tree. I mean, because of how much snow is on the ground, it's not like much better underneath the tree branches.
Well, we could shovel the snow away or push it. Clear a path.
You don't have
Clear
a
an
shovel.
area. Have you seen these hands?
Yeah, you might end up with frostbite because you're not wearing gloves.
Oh, that's true. Could
But I mean, it's a little bit better than just camping out in the open. Sure, absolutely.
moderately less wind. I
But you also
suppose.
like compared to the orc camp, like they had already like cleared the snow away and almost had like walls built. They had like uh an awning that they had set up of heavy leather above them. Definitely prepared for this journey.
What's preparation?
That's
We just fucking fly by the seat of our pants, man. There is
why people
no
keep dying.
forethought. Yeah.
Anyway, you guys light up a fire here underneath the branches. Who would like to keep first watch?
I will take first watch.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check for your watch.
Option disadvantage. 24.
Yeah, I mean, you're just like watching out. The fire's burning brightly, and then you feel a heavy drip hit you in like the back of the head. And you glance up and you realize that the fire below the tree branches is melting the snow on the tree branches and causing them to drip down on top of you.
Oh, this is the worst.
Man, Blood owes you like a huge favor at this point.
Oh, man. I mean, I'd have to put out the fire and rebuild the fire like 6 feet over to the side or something.
I mean, the tree branches are full of snow. It's a pine tree. You know how snow like packs onto the
Yeah. So I would like just move the fire out from under the tree.
Oh, out from under the tree.
Yeah. Uh, what
You
a
got
pain.
this, Jack.
I am going to do my best to grab one of the yeah, I'll grab like a log or something that we've maybe split and try and use that to shovel some snow out to make a little bit of a clearing, not under the tree, and try and rebuild the fire. And every, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes or so, stop and get a good look around.
Okay.
Since I'm still technically on guard duty.
Yeah, you stop and you look around, and you kind of you feel something watching you, and you glance off, and like in the moonlight, you can see a couple of figures. They're definitely slighter than the other orcs, but like you look closer and you can see they look like they're teenagers. Um, Teenager orcs. They're still wearing a lot of fur. Each one of them has like an axe on their hip and a shield on their back, but they're kind of like crouching and just like watching you. Seems more curious than anything of these strangers that they've now met a couple times on the path of their holy place.
You mean these absolute lunatics who are out in the snow with no survival gear?
and no heavy clothing. Yeah.
There's the ones.
At least I'm
Jack,
kind of warming
you
up.
you have a nice heavy blanket.
I do have a nice heavy blanket, and now I'm moving around and getting some exercise, so I'm probably
Yep.
warming up a little bit, at least temporarily. I'll stop for a moment and wave. Ahoy there!
And as soon as like you notice them, they're like, "Whoa," and they turn and just like bolt off into the back towards their camp direction.
Ahoy there. He's such a sea dog.
I have one job on this ship. I guess I'll go back to shoveling snow and building a fire.
Okay. Yeah, you spend the better part of your watch moving the fire. Luckily, it was already a fire, so you could just like build a new fireplace and then light it on fire. So, who do you wake up for watch numero dos?
Trenton.
Okay. Trent, you wake up and you're, kind of a little bit groggy, and you notice that the fire's moved, and you're like, swear it was over there.
It was making ice. I had to move it out from under the tree. Also, don't go over towards.
It was making ice. Most
So it
peculiar.
was melting the snow. Melting the snow, then the snow was falling, and now there's a patch of ice on the ground over there.
That makes more sense than the fire making ice.
It's making ice, but with extra steps.
How does a fire make ice? Mind blown. Okay, Trent, go ahead and make a perception check.
Ooh.
Oof.
It was about it had to balance out at some point.
And you're starting to feel the cold. You're resistant to cold, but you're like, oh, it's still chilly up here, and your body can only take so much before it starts to slow down. And yeah, you're just like keeping an eye out. Nothing seems to happen during your watch.
Okay. We'll go and wake Blued up then.
Okay. Blue Trent's like
with a distance with his quarterstaff.
Well, because it's uncomfortable and life's stressful, I don't think that Blood would be in as deep of a sleep as he normally would be, so he'll wake up pretty quick. And not violently.
not as comfortable as he is on the ship.
Yeah. Oh, is it my turn, Trenton?
Yeah.
Just big ol' yawn. I will get the perception once my thing catches up to me. Okay.
So Blue, you're just like you're keeping watch. Keeping watch. Your eyes are getting a little heavy, and you're just like, oh, it's been a rough few days.
Stand up to try to keep myself awake, walk around a little bit, sit down, start to doze off again.
Yeah,
Flash some snow on your face. Sorry.
About an hour into Blood's watch, Jack, you wake up shivering. And you realize that blanket you were given is gone.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Blue, where's my blanket?
Oh, what? Where's your what?
I
The
don't.
blanket
I
I
don't
had
want to be
that
robbed again.
the those nice orcs gave me.
Yep.
Don't know. Did you
He-
lose it on the way?
I fairly covered I fell asleep under it.
Oh, I don't. I mean, I'm tired, but I'm pretty sure I would have noticed something stealing your blanket.
Where did I leave my blanket?
You
Uh,
definitely curled up underneath it and went back to sleep.
Just scoot closer to the fireplace. I'm too tired to think about this right
Lude's
now.
just over here gaslighting Jack.
I
Pretty
think I
sure you
would have
didn't lose
noticed
it.
if someone came and stole your blanket. All right. But yeah, your blanket is now missing.
Great.
Poor Jack.
Thanks, Blood.
But, the rest of your watch passes without incident.
And then I guess I'll go wake up Imiga because she's the only other option.
Yeah, well, nothing happens to her in her watch, so because I would not have something happen randomly to an NPC. So it's like there's no fun in that.
Yeah.
That's why we should bring 4 crew members with us, and they always take the watch. Sorted.
Sorted. That's a bad idea. Because they will not catch the random things that could happen to you. But you wake up in the morning.
Oh,
Still
quite
cold.
miserable. Mhm.
So that level of exhaustion that you have is not going away every night. You're not accruing more, but
Okay.
it's not
I
going
was
away because
curious.
you're not like sleeping it off like you would want to be. Not until you get warm again. You might have been able to do it last night with that lovely blanket of yours.
What blanket? I never had a blanket.
What are these blankets you speak of?
All right, Zach, do you have a character? Do you have...
I am almost done with the character. I'm picking my spells now.
What are you?
You want class or race or both?
Both.
Tiefling sorcerer.
Tiefling sorcerer. Okay.
Yay,
trying to-
another sorcerer.
Just trying to figure out how I can introduce you. Like, would you be traveling with this orc party? So no, definitely not if you're a tiefling. I wasn't sure if you were going to make like an orc so that you would make my life easier, but
I thought about it, but then I thought this would be more fun. But then I had another idea on why this character would be looking for them.
What is your subclass?
Shadow magic.
Okay. Okay. I mean, you guys get up, break camp, cold, tired, continue on the path up the mountain. And
same order as before.
about 20 minutes into your journey, the same big old group of orcs that passed you last night and camped and that you approached, they catch up to you again.
They're going, but I guess we let them pass again. But as they're going by, good morning.
I mean, they look at you again and they're like, "Morning," and they just keep walking. Your passive perception is high enough. You see an elderly orc, not a woman, but an elderly orc man, and he's kind of being helped along by a couple of these other younger warrior types, and he's wrapped up in a familiar looking blanket.
Does Jack create a fuss?
No, Jack does not create a fuss. He's not a monster. He's just salty.
I mean, they did steal it from you.
Just as it's going past, would I have noticed this? I've got an 18 passive.
It's you never had the blanket, so you probably wouldn't notice the difference between that and just a regular white blanket.
Right, I wouldn't have noticed that was the one that was given to Jack.
Right. Jack noticed because
He was
it's the
underneath
one
there
that
at
he
one
was
point.
snuggled up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was wrapped up in it a few times.
Plus, I think we've all learned our lesson about getting angry when people steal stuff from us and overreacting.
Starting an alley fight
Overreact?
is not overreacting. That's justice.
But yep, they pass you fairly early on this morning and pull away from you quite quickly because of their snowshoes, even with the elderly orc man that they are escorting. And you see, like in this group, the elderly orc man, he's walking right now, being helped along by a couple people. But they also, it looks like they have a litter of some kind where they can carry him if he gets too tired. But go ahead and you can begin the 4th day of your journey. You travel most of the day. Whoever's keeping an eye out, perception check.
Do you
Been
mean?
Trenton every single time, so it's going to be Trenton right now.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Whee!
28. I mean, yeah, you're traveling along on the 4th day, and it's getting towards the afternoon when you start coming upon camp after camp after camp. And like as you're traveling up the mountainside, you can just see camps, fires going, awnings, tents, just spread out almost as far as the eye can see up the mountainside. And like you glance up and you see the approaching like path up this steep part of the mountain. You can see the edges of the village up there at the top of the mountain, and you can see all along these approaching hills just camps of orcs, thousands of them. Like you're like they're just almost countless, definitely countless for Blood. And yeah, it's just like, and you're traveling up this path, and you can see like these just like different clans of orcs. They've got different paint markings on their shields. They've got like different like tattoos on their faces or different hairstyles, different weapons. Most of them carry axes. A lot of them carry short swords, long swords. A couple of them, they forego the shield and they just have like a big old sword or an axe. And there's just a ridiculous amount of orcs here. And as you're traveling up the mountainside, you can see there's a couple uh like that are just kind of sitting on the side of the road, and they see you approaching, and you're not, they stand up, and one of them's like, "Oh, and you look cold, friends." He's like, "Perhaps I could interest you in some furs and a blanket. Not very expensive."
I would be all for that right now.
And he's like, "Oh, come. Let me show you what I have." And he opens up like a chest that's just kind of sitting there in the snow, and it's got like a nice fur mantle with like a cloak. He's got different like blankets. He's got some heavy fur boots, gloves, and he's like, "Are you interested, friend?"
Yes. I don't suppose you have anything in my size.
Ooh, well, I probably could get something that's made more for a child, but, yeah, try these on. And he hands you a pair of gloves.
Okay, I'll try them on.
They're not like, they don't fit perfectly, but they're good enough. Keep your hands warm.
I'll take a couple of steps back and draw my sword and flick around to see how it feels while I have gloves on.
It's okay. It's not going to put you at disadvantage.
Go back and be like, uh, yes, I would be certainly interested in purchasing these. I can also use with a new blanket. I seem to have misplaced one.
And he's like, oh, I have some of the finest. And he pulls out one that's very similar to the one that you lost. Just made with fur lining and just very warm and fuzzy. He's
Ooh,
like,
yes,
perhaps this is what you would like.
yes, this would be perfect. Um, and sorry, you had mentioned a coat, perhaps the child size.
I think I have something. He's like, oh, uh, well, and he picks up one that it's like a mantle. It's got like fur shoulders and a nice long cloak. And he kind of like puts it on your shoulders. It's definitely too big for you, but he puts it on your shoulders and he's like, it would drag on the ground a bit. I could try to cut the tail a bit so it fits a bit better. But definitely more designed for broader orcs.
That's understandable. Certainly be more than happy to pay for your services.
Hmm. All right. Yes. All right. So, blanket, gloves, mantle. Anything else I can interest you in, friend?
What else did he have like displayed in the box, or was that pretty much it?
He has like boots, different sizes of boots, fur covered boots. Um, like the mantle, blankets, gloves. Uh, like you could. There's like face masks, like to cover your nose. They would be very big on you because orc faces are even bigger.
Um, ooh, uh, yes, perhaps some snowshoes.
Oh, snowshoes. I don't actually have any of those. You might have to find someone else further up the path. I just have the warm weather clothing, the cold weather clothing. I apologize. Snowshoes are. uh, I'm sure someone further up will have a pair that you could purchase.
Oh, okay. So are they a separate piece, or are they the entire
Yes,
boot?
they strap to the bottom of your boots.
Ah, I see. So I'll probably need boots that can fit them. Um, let's see if you've got any boots that I could fit over my boots. I'm assuming you don't really have anything for human-sized feet, but
Well, I like perhaps for a child. Yes, I have these. These are the smallest ones I have, and yes, you could literally put your booted foot in them.
in there, and then
He's
like
like,
kind of lace it up a little bit so it actually stays in place.
yeah, like it's like wearing a second pair of shoes on top of your boots.
Perfect.
Might slow you down by about 5 feet per in combat, but
Oh, but I can make up for it if I put snowshoes on it.
3 pairs of shoes. I think that would just slow you down even more.
But then I'm on top of the snow, so at least it's not difficult terrain.
Uh huh.
That would be so awkward to run in.
I think it'd be impossible to run in 2 pairs of boots, and snowshoes on the bottom.
You'd be waddling, but you'd be warm.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, I think this will all work perfectly.
He makes you take it all off,
Yep.
and he's like, "All right, for all of this, let's see, just put it right around 500 gold."
It seems I left most of my wallet on the ship. Say
Oh, that's a
we
shame. And he closes the chest.
say we cut the boots and the blanket. You could do 160 for the gloves and mantle.
Make a persuasion check. It's going to be relatively high DC. I'm going to set it at like 22.
Well,
I was like,
Yeah,
"Nat 20 3 times."
he definitely is gouging people who are not wearing enough clothing and are suffering from the elements. And he's like, I could do. You said you wanted the boots and the mantle, or the gloves and the mantle?
yeah.
Which one?
Oh, sorry. Gloves and mantle.
Gloves and mantle. He's like, I could do the gloves for 160.
Boy, can Blood at this point
Stop this at any time.
realize something's a little skeevy?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
Blood, you can't count.
Oh, that's right. Shit.
No, this guy is like, it seems good quality stuff.
Good quality stuff. Maybe I'll shop around. See what other prices are available. You guys seem to be here on the way out, so hit you up then if I need to.
Fair enough.
Oh, don't you worry, Jack. We'll find you something. It might not be super fancy, but we'll find you something.
He's like, you hear him mumbling like freaking poor people.
And I'll talk a little bit loud. Maybe it'll be something that actually fits. We're walking
And
away.
your passive perception's high enough. There's a couple like kids behind this guy, and you seem like he glances over, gives them a nod, and they go running off.
I assume I lose track of the kids in the crowd fairly quickly.
Oh yeah, there are lots of people here, and you're staying on the path. At this point, you wouldn't need snowshoes. The path is kept fairly clear here. There is still snow everywhere, but it's low enough to where it's not impeding you anymore. It's like it's been plowed.
Neat. Got the orc road maintenance team doing work.
Yeah.
Come on, Jack. We're almost there.
You excited, Blood?
Oh, yeah. My mom makes this great stew. Oh, it's so good when you've been out in the snow.
A nice
I
warm
haven't-
stew. It does sound great.
Well, I've had a good food since Squawky died. Oh, wait. Yeah, I know Yeah, I do know Squawky would have died.
Yes.
I wasn't there for it, but I would have known.
I think we caught Blood up on everything.
But yeah, well, I mean, as you mention it, there are plenty of campfires going where you can smell good tasting food wafting from them as you're walking past.
Num
Makes your
nums.
mouth water a little bit after having a couple days of just hard rations.
I'm pretty tunnel visioned, and I'm like, I could see the village. We're almost there.
Okay, you begin the
Sure.
final ascent. This part of the journey will still take you a while. You get about halfway up to where the final resting point of the village is by the time nightfall becomes an issue. There are lots of camps around here because the climb up, it's like a snaking climb, and there's a lot of flat area where camps are made up the climb.
Blood, how much further to the top? Kind of getting dark.
We got about another half a day. Four.
Roughly 4 hours at this point.
That's a
Four.
bit far.
This many.
That's close. Well, guess we could try to make some friends with the locals and see if any of them let us camp near them.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Well, you know the customs, right? You want to do the talking?
Okay, I will. I guess go to the nearest campsite and approach them and be like, "Hi, I'm Blood. This here's my Captain Jack. Do you mind if we sit next to you?"
You okay? So you walk up to a camp and just start talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm assuming there's somebody sitting there. If there's nobody sitting there, I'm not going to talk to
Yo,
no
talk
air.
to the fire.
Yeah, there's a lot of people at this the first camp you approach, but you just like walk up and start talking. And you finally finish your sentence, and then someone like looks over one of the orcs looks over their shoulder, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, were you talking to us?"
Oh yeah. We just need a little space to camp out for tonight.
Well, rooms like it's a premium up here, so you're gonna have to head back down the mountain.
Wait, you have to pay?
No, but we was here first.
Man, Orcs is cranky.
They don't know you, and you just walked up and started talking.
Listen.
You didn't even be like, "Hail the camp" or "Hello, can I talk to you for a moment, please?"
This is why I should leave all the talking to Jack.
But this is way more entertaining.
Come back to Jack and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. They don't want to share."
That's not very nice of them.
No, it's not. You said we have to go back down the mountain because we have to pay a premium. Because he completely misunderstood what the guy was saying.
We've got a what?
He said we have to pay a premium. I don't
To
know what it
who?
means, but I know what pay means. I don't know. I always lived in the village. I never had to be out in the camps.
Well, we just got up here. It's another half a day's back down. Not happy about it, but we could just push on through the night. Trenton, Emeka, do either of you have any strong opinions one way or the other?
Ugh, I'm tired of shit, Captain.
I agree.
Maybe we'll have better luck at a different camp. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
they'll.
let's see if we can find one that's a little less crowded and angry.
They're orcs. They're always angry.
That's their secret.
So you travel a little further. There is another camp.
I guess I'll try to do the talking this time. I'll wander up to it and say, "Ahoy there!"
And this camp is a little different than the other ones you've come across. There are children running around. Couple of female orcs, male orcs. And they kind of like glance over in your direction. The like biggest burly one, he just kind of like stands up from the fire and he's like, "Yeah."
Good evening, sir.
Uh-huh.
We were hoping to find space to settle down for the evening. I don't suppose you've got room for 4 more travelers.
Hmm. Well, you're not very big.
No.
He glances back at his camp and he's like, "What's it to you?"
Oh, well, Jax just like absentmindedly like grabs his coin purse. He's like, God, it's not very full right now. See, uh, 20 gold, 5 per person that's staying here.
I got gold.
Um,
It's like you got some shiny pig stickers on that hip of yours.
oh, these, unfortunately, they're not for sale. Um,
Hmm. Shame. He starts to turn back towards his camp.
I mean, oh well, they're hardly but toothpicks to you, but I do have a couple of spare daggers.
You hear him chuckle. I got daggers. Is everybody else just watching?
So I'm really confused about what's going on here. So is it like so packed there's literally no place for us to sit down to make our own camp?
Up here on the hillside? Yes. Like each of these, like it's like a steeply sloped like path up the mountain, and every now and then there's like a flat spot where there are camps and people are allowed to camp on. Those are almost completely taken up by each orc camp that is there. So there's no place for you to just like plop down somewhere halfway up this path.
Trenton would love to help, but he has almost nothing of value and is
And I
not
all I
exactly
have
a
is
talker.
He turns around and he's like, and you see like it's weird because like he's got hair like across one eye a little bit, but that eye doesn't seem natural. And you see like that eye is like focusing on the blades on your belt. He looks over at Blued, looks over at Trent, looks over at him again. He's like, "I don't think you got anything worth anything. Other than them nice blades on your belt." I'm pretty sure nobody else has any really magical items.
I have nothing. All I have is my great axe.
And your blunderbuss.
Oh, I don't have the blunderbuss in my items inventory.
Also, these are short swords. They're gonna be so small to ignore.
They are, but he knows value when he sees them.
That's fair. Yeah. Even though I'm pretty sure the Blade of the Dark Captain is worth a small fortune.
Yeah. And you went through hell to get that back.
It's just, I mean, the short sword +1, fine. I could probably part with it, but not for a night's rest.
So the alternative is basically to head all the way back down.
Or continue on through the night and build up levels of exhaustion to get to the top.
So here's the thing. Halfway back, we're halfway up, right? Which means, and if it's 4 hours to get all the way up, that means it's 4 hours to get all the way down, and we might as well just go up instead of going all the way back down and then going all the way back up in the morning.
For every hour past your general end of day travel, you have to roll a Constitution saving throw or accrue points of exhaustion, and you are in the cold, which affects it. You are going up the side of a mountain, which affects the DC. So just be aware. Exhaustion could come into play pretty heartily to continue on. I'm not saying you can't. You can absolutely, but these orcs are more into like bartering than strictly gold, except for the one down at the bottom who was trying to sell you his wares at exorbitant prices because you were walking around in not heavy clothing, and he was playing on, hey, you're probably really cold. Money's no object, right? To get warm.
It is
so
when you don't have money.
The problem is you don't have squawk anymore, so you don't even have the like, hey, we got this really good chef who can make you some really nice food. Like that's like but I mean, there are other ways to get your way into a camp. You just have to think about it. Like I said, this one's a little different than the last camp you checked, which was full of warriors. This one has kids and women running around. Well, the kids are running around. The women and like if Tolvin was still alive, he might have been able to play some music, entertain people. But he's dead now.
Yeah, he's a little on the dead side.
My skill set entirely benefits myself. I could probably sneak into like a suitcase or something.
Probably.
well, I guess I could go. Well, I don't have any. All I got is my great axe, but if you need something lifted, or I'm really tall, I can reach high spots.
This
He's
orc
trying to be
gentleman's
so
like,
helpful.
you see him raise an eyebrow, and he's like, I mean, orcs is pretty strong.
All I can really do is lift heavy things. I don't have anything else to trade. It's hard to play a dumb character, man. His critical thinking is
just-
not great.
You just got to turn your brain off.
I literally have no idea how Trenton can help in this situation.
Right? I'm having a second energy drink because I've got no brain juice.
Perfect. That's how you play blue. Kitty Kate.
I'm stumped on this one, you guys.
Well, we can try the next camp.
Okay, you move on from this guy who wants magic stuff to the next camp, and it's been roughly an hour past dark at this point, so I need y'all to make Constitution saving throws to see if you accrue a point of exhaustion. Blood is
Good.
fine. Jack,
Good
you get number
stuff.
2. Trent, you get number 1.
My speed is halved.
Oh no.
But you managed to stumble your way up to the next camp. Full of orcs. These ones look like rough and tumble.
Ahoy there.
Eh.
Room for a few more wanderers in your camp?
Puny human wants a spot at our campfire. They all just kind of start laughing.
Perhaps a contest of strength to earn our spot at the table.
They kind of turn and look at you, and they're like, all right. One of them stands up and cracks his knuckles. He's like, what do you got in mind, puny human?
Arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling. Yeah, and everybody's like, yeah. One of them grabs a barrel and carries it over and sets it down. They put 2 chairs down. He kind of plops down. He's like, all right, puny human.
Luke,
Arm
if you'd be so
wrestling.
kind.
Blue kind of giggles. He goes,
He looks over at Blue and he's like, puny human did not say arm wrestling with ogre.
Also, didn't say not arm wrestling with ogre.
He's like, he thinks he thinks long and hard for a second. He's like, the other ones are like,
you're
he
nuts.
He knows say that, and then he's like, yeah, you know say that. Okay, let's go.
Ruby, you never did it.
Blue's like, I'll try not to go too hard on you.
He's like, huh, you may be big, but you may not be strong. All right, we're going to do some opposing strength checks. So I need you to just click the button that says strength underneath it, because it'll do a d20 roll and add your strength to it. Okay. You guys are opposing strength, and he gets Blood. Blood's like, oh man, this guy's strong, and he pushes Blood about a third of the way down the other way. Go again. Okay. Blood, you're like, okay, I got him this time, and you fight him right back to the middle. Go again.
I'm clicking it.
Just keep clicking it.
He fights you, but you start to pressure him the other way, and he starts to lose ground
Oh goddamn.
again. And he's like, nope, and fights you right back to the middle. Even keel going both ways. Oh, and he pushes you down. And he's like, I'm gonna get you. And you push him right back to the middle, and he's like, oh, and he's starting to get gassed, and he's like, whoo. And this orc, he is older. There is gray in his beard, gray in his hair. He's obviously the leader of these orcs, and so he's a little on the older side, but obviously a seasoned warrior. So, one more time, let's go. Ooh.
Oh no!
And
no!
so he you like you feel like your arm starts to twinge and you're like, oh no, that's a cramp, and then he pushes you down too, and you're just barely about to give in. Oh no.
Oh!
And he slams Blue's hand down and just like jumps up. He's like, yeah, beat the ogre, yeah. And the crew's like, yeah, and they're like pounding,
Blue's like, not like
pounding their
this.
feet,
No,
grabbing.
like
They've got like axes and shields, and they're just banging them together like Viking warriors. And they're like, yeah, and he's like, ah. And he kind of like sits back down in a chair, and he's like, drink. And so they bring out mugs of ale. Basically, I mean, it's mead, but it's mugs of it, and he's like, to what's your name, ogre?
Blue.
Blood to blood. Wait a minute. I know you. I haven't seen you since you were a little shorter than you are now.
I'm really sorry. It's been a long time since I've been here. I don't remember you.
Oh, yeah, we were never introduced, but I remember you. You was always fighting in them fighting rings against all the other young warriors and kicking ass. Man, I didn't know it was you. I'd have just invited you to stay with us. But drink, drink. He
Oh.
picks up the mead and like bangs it against your mug if you partake.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then, he just like pounds the whole thing and just big old burp through his beard, and he's like, oh, whoa, I didn't know it was the champion of the fighting pits.
Leaning. Blued, I didn't know you were a champion of the fighting pits.
Oh, listen, I wasn't supposed to, with my mom being a priestess, I wasn't technically supposed to be doing the fighting pit, so I didn't really talk about it.
That's understandable.
He's like, come, join the fire. And they, they get up from the makeshift arm wrestling thing that they did and take you over to the fire. And he's like, he sits down. He's like, come, guest of honor, sit next to me.
Yeah, sir, what was your name?
I am Vikar.
Could you spell that for me, Ben?
Vikar.
It sounds like there should be an apostrophe in there.
No.
They're not an apostrophe. Okay.
Duvikar!
Yes. I remember you because oh boy, you gave my son a beating one time, and I couldn't believe it. And I was like, oh, that Blue's a tough ogre. He's like, where have you been all this time?
A captain on a ship offered me a job, and I've been sailing, which, makes me a little out of shape. I haven't done a lot of fighting lately, but I'm really good with an axe.
Yeah, I saw your arm start to cramp on you there towards the end. But hey, I got nothing. Yeah, you done well, young Blood.
Oh,
So
thanks.
what brings you back to Earthenplock?
Oh, my mom sent me a letter. Needed to talk to me about something. She missed me. It's been 2, 3, 4. Well, he gets kind of stuck because he really can't count higher than 4.
Like, it's been a while. Sure, we'll go with that. I'm not so good at the counting either. But hey, are you hungry?
Oh, starved. I wanted mom's stew, but
You see off to the side,
puny
there's
human
this
couldn't make it.
big like fire pit, and it's just got like a full pig like roasting over the fire pit, and he's like, He walks over to it and just grabs one of the legs and just rips it off and brings it and just kind of like hands it to you. And he's like, "Yeah."
They're trapped.
Because he's kind of learned a hierarchy of things. So Vicar, sorry. Can my captain have some first?
Puny human is captain?
Oh yeah. Oh, Captain Jack. Oh, he saved my life so many times. And then when I died, and then I came back, he offered me a job.
Wait, you died?
Oh yeah. I mean, a long time ago, I think. I don't know how long I was dead.
And he's like, all right, puny human. And he goes to hand you this giant leg of pig with one hand. It's nearly as big as your torso.
I'm gonna do my dart because he's obviously not just gonna put it on the table in front of me because I
Nope.
stall.
Technically you're not sitting at a table because like there's just bench seats around the fire, and
so I
like
gotta put it
you're
on
kind
my
of just
lap.
standing in the back. You were kind of just standing in the back because he grabbed Blue and was like, "You sit next to me." He's just been paying all his attention to Blue, so you're kind of just like on Blue's coattails right now, just kind of like standing there near the fire. Obviously, it's very warm because it's a huge bonfire, and you're like, "Oh, it's just kind of nice to be here right now." And so he like turned around and he's gonna hand you this giant leg of ham.
Yep. I'm gonna take it.
Okay, it's very hot. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw against burning your hands on this leg of pig.
I should have
Because
gotten gloves.
his hands are, you're fine.
Okay.
Just higher than a 10, but his hands are very like calloused and like almost like, you know, they're so hard that he can't burn himself on the leg of pig that he ripped off of this burning pig. That's just his skin is so toughened to that point, and you're like, "Ooh, it's hot," but it's like you're holding it with both hands and barely able to hold it up to where you might be able to take a bite of it.
I'll go try and find somewhere to sit down.
He's like,
so if I can next to Blood or whatever.
he's like, eat.
I just gotta stabilize myself.
Puny human doesn't have teeth like we do.
That's not very nice. And I'll start taking a bite out of this.
Oh, sorry, Captain.
You hold it up and just like, it's tender. It's tender. It's juicy. It's amazing. It's the best tasting thing you've had since Squawky died, because you haven't had a chef to cook you anything. Like, and it's just and the juice is dripping down your chin, and you're just kind of like,
oh
yeah, you kind of just like moan because it's like it tastes so good, and you're just like, and he's like, puny human, take big bite, and he's like, come here, puny human, I'll help you out. And he goes over to the pig and just like takes, it's basically a short sword to you, but to him it's like a freaking cutting knife, and just cuts a slab off of it and puts it like kind of on like a wooden slab, like a plate. He's like, come, sit to my left. Blood goes to my right. And so Blood sits to his right, and he lets you sit down to the left. He puts the plate in front of you. He takes the big old leg from you and hands that to Blood. He's like, here, leg for Blood.
Oh, it's my
More
favorite
your size.
I appreciate that.
And he kind of claps you on the back, and you just like feel it. Like if your hat could come off, it would have knocked it off. But you know,
it's magic.
It's magic. And he's like, who else travels with Blood?
Oh, the funny-looking guy there, Trenton. And then
the one talking to the pine cone.
And then the dragonborn Imiga.
He's like, come, enjoy food by the fire and drink.
We'll go and join them.
Yeah, and there's I mean, the keg is so big that Blue would have a hard time picking it up. Definitely like a 3-orc job of mead that's been carted up the side of this mountain. Like they've obviously been camping here a while. And he pours a giant like mug for Jack, which is about this big to Jack.
Yay! Gallon!
He pours one for Trent, and he's like, mead? Funny man?
Just water would be fine, thank you.
Oh, come now. Just water. You've been traveling a while. Understandable. And he just, pounds the freaking triple pint of mead, since it's for big orcs and ogres. And, one of the other warriors comes over with, a smaller mug, and it's filled with water, and he's like, let me show you a trick, funny man. Full of snow, and drops it in there, and it makes the nice and refreshingly cool water.
Oh, thank you very much.
He claps you on the shoulder, which almost knocks the water out of your hands. Orcs are very physical beings. And yeah, you guys have successfully made your way into a camp.
Hey.
And
Yay! I didn't even think about using Blood's name. It just.
Yeah, that would have worked on either of the last 2 camps.
Yeah.
I was like, they just have to mention who he is. I was like, Trenton could use his magic to entertain the kids.
I was thinking that the second we left, I was like, shit, I should have just conjured a beast or something and had it be a cat run around or something.
Yeah, entertain the kids. That could have got you into the second camp. There were many ways I would have let you guys get into a camp, and strength check, absolutely. And then you'd name drop, and I was like, that's even better. They know who Blue is. He grew up here. He's an ogre. They don't put 2 and 2 together because they're not super bright. They're like, oh, it's just a freaking puny human with his bodyguards, right? Especially when you're talking to them. They're just they don't know who, you're not talking to them. And they don't, go, oh, hey, there used to be an ogre that lived here 10 years ago. They're not super bright. They're orcs.
That's why I was trying to use Blood's mom's name.
Too.
I tried to name drop Blood's mom's name with the tree people. It's maybe she knows them. She's a priestess of some kind.
The tree people don't come up here, so they don't know who she is. Yeah. Anyway, that's actually a pretty good stopping point. If you guys don't mind stopping.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Yeah,
that works.
Yeah. You're kind of a big deal.
He's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, just a bit.
And Zach, sorry I killed another one of your characters, but it is your fault this time.
It's been my fault the last few times.
I was gonna say, I think the only time it wasn't technically was because of this whole squawky thing. We just couldn't save him.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have not taken the cursed items, but I did it anyway. And then I think the only one that really wasn't my fault was Craw, the kobold I had for 10 minutes.
Because Riff was like, get your ass back on that ship and rescue your captain, you bitch.
Well, and Zix as well. That was when Blood died. It was just really shitty odds.
Well, okay. He
could have
dumped
not
and ran towards the demons. That's
I should have gone away.
That's about 75% his fault.